with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. With so many games going on, Thanksgiving is the perfect time to join. Rivalry games like the Cowboys and Commanders, gotta love Dallas. And how about the Lions? The way they're playing, I think they'll take care of the Packers in another rivalry game. So visit FanDuel.com/Gasman and fill up your plate with parlays and player props all weekend long. And not just the NFL. College football, college hoops, and the NBA as well. FanDuel, official partner of the National Football League. Must be 21 or over, present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. $5 pregame money line wager required. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call TN Redline at 1-800-889-9789.
A 3-carat lab-grown diamond for just $599? A 2-carat lab-grown for only $299? A 1-carat lab-grown diamond for just $99? It's not a mistake. It's Genesis Diamond's unbelievable lab-grown Black Friday sale. That's right. This weekend, Genesis is offering deals absolutely no one can touch. So you can put the ring of her dreams on her finger and get the deal of your dreams at the same time. Other stores are charging $10,000 for 3-carat lab-grown diamonds. But at Genesis, it's just $599. Their 2-carat lab-grown diamonds are over $4,000, but the Genesis price is just $299, and their 1-carat lab-growns are $1,500. But you can get a 1-carat lab-grown at Genesis for just $99. This offer is not too good to be true, but it is limited to the first 150 customers with the purchase of one of Genesis' exclusive settings. Imagine proposing to the love of your life with a stunning 3-carat certified lab-grown diamond, any shape, showcased in a one-of-a-kind setting. Don't miss Genesis Diamond's lab-grown Black Friday event this weekend, including Sunday, on Poplar at Perkins Extended. See store for details.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee must finance through Hyundai. Forte LXS PE 694,095, MSRP 21,610. Storage R722, 7239, MSRP 28,715. EVP 560, 3393, MSRP 50,200. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2023 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Got Jeff Allen here from Gossett Kia, South Mount Moriah. Hey, Jeff, you ready for the holidays with the season of giving back?
I'm ready to give out some great holiday gifts and save you some big bucks. Perfect for the holiday road trips. 41 MPG Highway in a new 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month. $27.99 due at signing. Or a big family that needs more room? 2024 Kia Sportage LX with class-leading cargo room and rear seat leg room, $299 a month. $34.99 due at signing.
What about an EV?
2023 Kia EV6 Wind, 134 City, 101 Highway, MPGE, $379 a month. $49.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus a free charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
The way they live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to get up and get your day started.
Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
They get up every morning from the alarm clocks, wanting to take the 8:15 to the city.
Greetings and salutations on this Wednesday, November 22nd, 2023, the day before Turkey Day. I'm not sure how many people are working out there today. I'm not sure about other radio shows around the city. I do know this. We have 3 hours of scintillating sports talk for you live and in color from the Family Leisure Studios. We welcome you in. Greg Gaston, producer Zach Boyd. Eli is off today. He's actually working an Ole Miss basketball game, and you can hear him today as the Rebels take on the Temple Owls in Philadelphia, 2 o'clock here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM. So my partner will be calling that game. I'll be headed to Philadelphia tomorrow for the Memphis Temple football game, which will take place on Friday. Again, we're in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. Their overstock sale continues at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. And the first hour of the program is brought to you by our friends at East Memphis Ace Hardware, one of the busiest travel days of the year. People on planes, people in cars, rickshaws, whatever it is that will get you to your destination for Thanksgiving. But we have a lot to get to. It is a busy, busy day and a busy time in sports. First of all, The Memphis Tigers men's basketball team open up the Battle for Atlantis in the Bahamas, and in just a few moments, we'll head to the Bahamas because we have the technology, and we'll talk with assistant coach Andy Borman, who joins us each and every week. At 7:25, we'll wrap up the soccer season with our friend Lawrence Dockery. At 8:05, Coach Ryan Silverfield will join us as we prep for the Tigers and Temple. Memphis obviously disappointed with the loss to SMU, but still an opportunity to win a 9th game if they can beat Temple and a 10th game if they can win their bowl game. We'll talk to Ryan about that. And, of course, the big news yesterday about the stadium. At 8:25, Jerry Palm on both college football and college hoops. And at 9:05, we're talking Grizzlies with DeMichael Cole. The Grizzlies tonight in Houston. That means the rekindling of an old friendship with Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks, who yesterday said, you can see they have no swagger, talking about his former team. Talking about him being, comparing himself to an ex-girlfriend that the Grizzlies didn't realize they were going to miss. Yes, words of wisdom from Dylan Brooks as the Grizzlies at 3-10 will meet the surprisingly good Rockets at 6-6. College basketball last night, the Maui Invitational. Did you stay up late? If you did, you watched the number one team in the nation, Kansas, fall to Marquette 73-59. Marquette's a very good team. They're ranked 4th. But KU, the number one team in the nation, falls 73-59. And earlier in the evening, Purdue over Tennessee, that's number 2 over number 7, 71-67 in a game in which 51 fouls were called. In fact, another foul just called. Another foul was just called in that game. 51 fouls. Are you kidding me? Today, you're looking at clouds and sunshine, a high of 52. It is currently 42 degrees in the metropolitan Memphis area. You're talking about partly cloudy tonight with a low dipping under 40, about 38 tonight for a low. Tomorrow, a mainly sunny sky day, high 57. Not bad for Thanksgiving. Let me introduce, I was going to bring in my partner in crime today, Zach Boyd, but right now he is going to get Andy Borman on the line, but of course Zach is with me. Zach, do you have a second to tell all the good people how well you're doing?
I'm doing great, guys.
You ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow?
I am definitely ready for Thanksgiving.
So what's the game plan? How do you do it?
At
home? You head to family? What do you do?
Yeah, so I'm heading to like 3 different Thanksgiving outings on Thanksgiving. So
and not eating one piece of turkey.
No.
But there's a lot of other things that you can eat.
Yeah, like vegetables, like casseroles and different things like that. Like there's something there to eat.
Well, have a great Thanksgiving. Want to wish everybody a terrific Thanksgiving as well. But we're here today to talk about sports as we are each and every day. And I'm telling you, it is going to be fabulous with all the college basketball, the college football, the NFL tomorrow. I'll give you our lineup from here on Sports 56 and 98.5 in just a few moments. But without further ado, as promised. Oh, there's the music. We'll have the official open for Andy here soon. We got to get our production people to work. But this is his song. This is his intro. Ladies and gentlemen, University of Memphis Tigers men's basketball assistant coach Andy Borman joining us from the beautiful islands of the Bahamas. You can follow him on Twitter at Andy_Borman. Andy, how are you?
I'm doing good, guys. Good morning.
Good morning to you. I know that you are there to get things done. You're on a working assignment, but gosh, it is 39, well, what did I just say, 42 degrees. We've gone over the 40-degree mark here in Memphis. What's the weather like in the Bahamas?
I think it's been like 75 degrees 24 hours a day. The only thing that's different is the sun rises and the sun set, but the weather's perfect.
Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful part of the world. I've been there before. Have you been there before?
I have, but a long time ago when I was in my 20s.
So what is Coach Hardaway allowing the players to do when you're at Atlantis, you're in the Bahamas, but you are obviously on a mission to win this tournament? Is there time to really enjoy themselves?
I don't know. Not really. I think we're really busy. I mean, by the way, we haven't even changed our, prep schedule, and it's pretty full. Mm-hmm. So I think they have a little time to walk around, and kind of see the sights. But it's not like we have to like invent anything to keep them busy.
Right.
I think we're so, detail oriented that we're just sticking with the normal schedule, and there's just not a lot of free time anyways. But also with these guys, it's not like we have to motivate them to get ready to play Michigan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are the facilities like? As fact, I've been to the Maui Invitational, so I know how it was.
Yeah.
And of course, they moved it to Honolulu because of that devastating fire that cost a lot of lives and just was, it was such a tragedy. But they usually play in that small high school gym on the island of Maui in Lahaina. I've never been to the Bahamas for basketball. When you're practicing, do they have multiple courts? What's the breakdown as far as that's concerned?
Yeah, no, it's totally different because I've been to the Maui Invitational too, and that's a gym. Even though it may not be a college-sized gym, it's a gym that's designed for. No, we are. This is in like a ballroom, so it's like a converted, emptied out ballroom. That they've put a basketball court in, and like probably I didn't get a hard look at it yesterday, but probably like a dozen row of bleachers on each side. So it's pretty small. And then there is a second ballroom that has a practice court in it. Now there's plenty of height, so it's not like you're worried about it affecting their shot or anything. But it definitely feels enclosed. You can feel a little claustrophobic.
How fired up is Coach Hardaway now that he has returned as far as games? He's been coaching the team in practice. He's been with the team, but obviously the first 3 games, you guys were coached by Rick Stansbury, yourself, Faraji, and the rest of the staff. But now he's back at the helm. I'm sure he's excited as heck to get back there.
Yeah, I mean, I think we'll see the difference. Today on a game day, because like I said, I mean, he's so detail oriented, that even when he wasn't allowed to coach, he was still allowed to do all the prep work leading up to game day. So everything has really been, the same, and then today is kind of like that I'm back moment. It's like I'm waiting, it's like when Jordan came out of retirement, I'm waiting for the facts to come in.
Right.
That says I'm back. But, we know it, and we're excited. Like I said, every single person here, whether it's coaches, players, support staff, everyone here came here to work for Penny Hardaway. And I think everyone did their best to try to just get us through his absence in as good of a way as possible. And now it's kind of like, okay, now this is what we signed up for.
Right.
Let's go.
Right. And while you guys were hit with that curveball, that 3-game suspension by the NCAA, Michigan has been hit with a curveball with the health of Juwan Howard. He's not coaching the team. It is great to have an old, reliable, veteran, successful coach like Phil Martelli running the show. But Juwan is not there. They've had a tough loss already early to a pretty solid Long Beach State team. What can you tell us about Michigan? What are the obstacles you face when you play them today, 4 o'clock Central Time?
Well, I mean, I can tell you, I don't know, whether he'll be on the sideline or not, but Coach Howard is here.
Okay.
He's here with the Michigan team.
Has he been with the team in the past games they've played already this season? Do you know that?
I don't know, because I kind of like you guys, I didn't see him on the sideline. I saw Coach Martelli running the show.
Right.
But I can tell you, like, he's here, and maybe Coach Martelli coaches the game and he just helps it. I don't know the formula, but I mean, he's here in person. You can't miss him. You can't miss.
No, you can't.
all 6'10" of them. But no, they're tough and they're really good. And on top of that, they have an incredible guard in McDaniel that can really get wherever he wants. They've got a dynamic scorer in Burnett, and then they're huge. Like they're literally 6'7", 6'9", 6'11", over and over and over. And so, one of the things we struggled with last game was offensive rebounding.
Yes, you did. Mm-hmm.
And I know that we've spoken about that before. And it's, it's not like some new topic, that's going to be fun to talk about. But I'd put that at the top of the list. We got to keep their little guard out of the paint, and we got to keep their big dudes off the glass.
Right.
And there's more points, but obviously those are kind of like top of the list items.
But I think you would agree, because we saw this problem rear its ugly head even in the exhibition games, allowing offensive rebounds, allowing second chance opportunities to your opponent. But you guys are big. You're a big team. You got long players. To me, that's more effort, because, again, that was a small team you faced, relatively speaking, in Alabama State. They get 25 offensive rebounds. To me, that was more effort than it was, well, you're outmanned, outsized. You weren't. So now I think, knowing that these guys are a much bigger team, obviously it's a bigger name opponent, I hope that all the guys realize that and they'll step up, because they did a good job, especially in the second half against Missouri, in rebounding the basketball. So I don't know if it's going to be one of those seasons, Andy, where the guys kind of play down to the level of competition, play up to the level of competition. But all we do know is this: you give up 25 offensive rebounds to Michigan, you're not winning.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're spot on, right? Like the second half against Missouri, we were plus 10. Plus 10 on the road.
Wow.
On the road in rebounding differential. And so it's not a matter of can we do it. It's a matter of how consistently can we do it. And if we can, we're gonna be special. And like I said, it's just got to be a decision made, right? Like there are days I don't like working out in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make that decision.
Fight through it.
Yep, exactly right. So that's going to be part of our struggle. The good news is Coach Hardaway is not willing to lose that battle, and he said that to the team. So we're going to win. It's just a matter of like how hard we got to fight them on it.
Every player is important. I understand that. But give me a player or two that is going to have to come up big today to get a dub in your first game.
I mean, I think that you can really kind of, sticking with the two themes, I think you can key in on kind of like our three guards, from a ball pressure perspective. Mm-hmm. That's Quinterly, Caleb Mills, Jalen Young, really, just doing a good job, trying to keep McDaniel under control. And then I would say, honestly, we know Malcolm and JB, but who's going to be, and not just one guy, who are going to be the two guys, is that Jaquan Walton, who's
rebounders, right?
David Jones. Yeah. And not just rebound, because they're going to have a hard time guarding those guys too. Mm-hmm. So just like we'll have a tough time guarding them, they'll have a tough time guarding us, and so who's going to win that, kind of mismatch? Because it is. And someone's going to win. It's going to be us or them. Can Jonathan Pierre, win his mismatch? Can Ashton Hardaway or Nicholas Jourdain win their mismatch? And same with Jaden Hardaway. Mm-hmm. Can he win his mismatch? And if we can, because look, we got to guard them and keep them off the glass, but they got to guard us too.
Right.
And that's. So if we can win those little team and individual mismatches, I mean, that's what's going to add up.
Another thing is that if they are really concentrating on your Alabama State game, they didn't see a lot. Coach Stansbury said after the game that you guys purposely didn't want to show a lot of things. That's why we didn't see full court pressure. We didn't see switching of defenses. That's all on the table for this tournament.
Well, like we spoke about last time, we've got our CIA brain computer back, Coach Hardaway, and no one sees the game the way he does.
Right.
And no one, just like the way he processes it. And so you're like, we're going to what? Okay. Wow. Mm-hmm. Like just his adjustments in game, and you just can't replicate that. So that's what we're going to that's what we have. And, we've got the full menu, and it's just a matter of coach deciding in the moment, what to employ. And then our guys got to carry it out.
Is the, what would you call it? The early scouting report on the possible second round opponent. One of you guys, I know one of the assistant coaches gets that assignment.
Mm-hmm.
Have you looked at the possibility of Arkansas? Who are they playing? Stanford?
Yeah, it's Arkansas or Stanford.
So have you guys already started to look at those two? I would imagine you have, because you're going to play one of those teams tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, not something the players are a part of, clearly.
Right.
But as a staff, we were up last night talking about strengths and weaknesses of both of them and really working on that. And then they play right after us. So we'll be able to play, do our job, and then sit as a staff and then watch that game, and kind of like start getting an indication as that game goes of who we're going to get. And we've got staff assigned, so there'll be guys watching Arkansas and guys watching Stanford. And then, the minute that game's over, we have information prepared already. And then we'll be adding to that from that game, so it's kind of a unique thing playing in these, 3-game, 3-day tournaments. Very similar to a conference tournament at the end of the year.
Yeah, unlike Michigan football with Connor Stallions, you're allowed to be in the stands to watch the opponent that you may be playing the next day. I don't think there's any problems as far as that's concerned. We're talking Tigers basketball with assistant coach Andy Borman. So Michigan today, then whoever tomorrow could be Arkansas, then a third game. Ole Miss on the horizon, VCU, Texas A&M, all road games. Then Clemson at home, Virginia at home, Vanderbilt at home. This is Murderer's Row. This is, though, what Penny wanted to do, to set this thing up. We know where the conference stands. It is pivotal for you guys to be successful in the non-conference portion of your schedule, to have a good seed once tournament time comes around. And so this is important, and maybe more important than a North Carolina or some of the bigger name programs from bigger conferences that have chance after chance after chance within their conference. And I think you guys all know that and understand that, the importance of the next month.
Yeah, I mean, and it starts today, and it's just going to be like one after the other.
Yes, it
is. And so, just put your head down. But that's also what these guys came here to do.
Right.
I mean, and that's what they're accustomed. Javon Quinterly's accustomed to doing this, and so is David Jones, and so is Jaquan Walton, and so is Malcolm Dandridge, so this isn't, it may be new for a couple of the guys, but for the team as a whole, this isn't new. And so it's just, let's get to work and let's just start putting kind of notches on our belt. And I mean, I speak for myself, but we feel a certain level of disrespect, because it seems like every time, the national media comes out, they find someone new to talk about, and it's not us.
Right. You talking about the top 25 poll?
Any of it. Any of it, when they talk about, risers or, hey, teams to watch, it's not just rankings, but that's a part of it. And so this is a great opportunity for us on a national stage with national programs to come out and do some work and say, hey, remember us? Okay.
Exactly.
You don't need to talk about it. Just know that we're here.
Well said. Well said. It is funny, though. I know the poll doesn't mean anything right now, but it is funny that you are basically 26th last week.
Yeah.
You go into this week, and a couple of teams from behind you jump you. You guys stay out of the poll. One of those teams that jumps you, I believe, Virginia, which you will play, loses. A couple of other teams lose, and you're still on the outside looking in. So I can understand. I know people get irked. They're playing the disrespect card once again. But really, there's some truth to it.
I think there is, and that's okay, But,
sure.
We don't need anything given to us, but we've got no problem going and earning it, and that's what we got to do.
Right.
So if that's, it just seems like there's certain people out there that can't do wrong, and certain people that just got to constantly prove themselves over and over. And so that's the lot we've been cast in, and so let's go do it.
Well, we can't thank you enough for joining us from the Bahamas. Happy Thanksgiving to you and everyone down there. I know it's kind of a weird Thanksgiving while you're playing a tournament, but go get them. Starting today, 4 o'clock Central Time, the Tigers and the Michigan Wolverines. Andy, thank you so much. Safe travels back, and we'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Andy. Andy Borman, Tigers assistant coach, joining us from the Bahamas, site of the Battle for Atlantis. Again, Memphis opens up today against Michigan, 4 o'clock Central, just a pivotal tournament. They need to win today to get on that winner's side. You lose, and then if Arkansas beats Stanford, Stanford's not a great team, then you're playing Stanford, and maybe you play Northern Iowa as a consolation game, and then you don't get any real quality wins. That puts you way behind the 8 ball. They do play a daunting non-conference schedule, but this is really, really important. I know it's early, but once you get the conference play, and with all due respect to the conference mates of Memphis, there are not a lot of quality wins in there. In fact, a loss is going to hurt you way more than a win's going to help you. So I think everybody knows the importance of playing well in this tournament. All right, when we come back, got a couple things to get into, including the college football playoff rankings from last night. Lawrence Dockery will join us as well to talk some soccer. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Tease the season at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for holiday specials this year. Featuring the Titleist T-Series irons, which combine exceptional feel, more consistency, and precise control. And from Bushnell, the new Tour V6 Series laser rangefinders provide you the most accurate distances in golf. There's always gift cards in any amount for the special golfer you're shopping for. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Shop us in store or online at worldwidegolf.com.
Pizza lovers and sports fanatics, Ferraro's Pizzeria is your Sunday ticket headquarters. Catch every pro game on multiple big screen TVs while enjoying $2 beers, $9 beer buckets, and mouth-watering pizza. We're talking the cheesiest, most delicious New York pizzas in town with all your favorite toppings. What are you waiting for? Grab your family and friends and get to Ferraro's, corner of Jackson and Main, just east of the Pyramid. Enjoy every pro game at Ferraro's Pizzeria and Cheesy Corner, your game day destination.
Hey fellas, Bill Russell at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, and this year it happened on October 17th. I had my first gentleman ask me what he should get his special lady for Christmas, and my answer was this: get her something she will enjoy and get her something she will absolutely love. Think about her likes and her dislikes. You might even ask her what she wants. Then, come let us show you the finest, most beautiful jewelry in Memphis. This will be our 38th Christmas, and for many of our customers, they've been with us for every one of those 38 years. They come looking for beautiful gifts, fine jewelry that makes a lady's eyes sparkle, but they also know that they will receive quality and service that is unsurpassed in Memphis. And at Russell Brothers, you can play St. Nick knowing that if you don't make the right choice, our money-back guarantee will allow her the ability to exchange her gift for one that she really does love, or she gets your money back. For 5 decades, we've helped thousands of Santas. We'd love to help you. Russell Brothers Jewelers, 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
Jenkins Floors and More in Hernando is growing. This family business started up 5 years ago with just one pallet, and now they have hundreds. Tim, the owner, gets calls from people everywhere and can sometimes save them up to 50% on wood flooring, carpet, tile, and vinyl. Jenkins Floors and More helps with renovations, home building, and installation. Jenkins Floors and More, number 6 East Commerce Street in Hernando. Also in Little Rock and coming soon to Tennessee. Call 662-469-9350 for more information.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination, has 27 delicious flavors to choose from and counting. Like the Buffalo Ranch, a perfect combo of ranch seasoning with a little kick. Mango Habanero, sweet taste of mango followed by the heat. Or sweet maple bourbon. The taste will remind you of chicken and waffles. And that's just 3 of the amazing 27 chicken wing seasonings that you can get at the Crazy Coop in Bartlett at 7199 Stage Road. And now open the Crazy Coop Express at 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. Some like it hot. How about the Crazy Sweet Lemon Pepper Hot or Crazy Suicide? Can't take the heat? Get the 4-cheese roasted garlic or barbecue bacon bourbon. Ask about the $9.99 lunch special. Now those are some crazy good prices. The Crazy Coop, 2 locations, 7199 Highway 64 between Atlin and Kirby-Whitten and 1315 Ridgeway off Poplar. Family owned and operated, The Crazy Coop, America's premier wing destination.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Wrapping up an accident at Bellevue just south of Macklemore. Traffic's finally starting to build on 385 Biltmore Parkway coming in from Collierville towards 240 coming up through South Haven right now. It's been in pretty good shape. It still is 55 going northbound as that traffic starts to pick up just a bit coming up from DeSoto County towards South Memphis. Hey, don't miss the Enchanted Garden of Lights at Rock City in Chattanooga this holiday season. Check them out at CRockCity.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate Andy Borman joining us from the Bahamas. We're going to talk some soccer with Lawrence Dockery in just a moment. Again, Ole Miss and Temple basketball today at 2 o'clock. Eli on the call from Philadelphia. So you got yours truly and Zach Boyd with you here from the Family Leisure Studios. Tomorrow we will have the Packers and Lions at 11 a.m. Lions playing the traditional Thanksgiving Day game. There are 3 games in the NFL, but in the afternoon at 4:30, it's all about the Egg Bowl. Ole Miss, Mississippi State from Starkville. And then on Friday, we got the Dolphins and the Jets at 1:30. Busy time. Of course, busy weekend as well. We got the Ohio State-Michigan game for you starting at 11 a.m., all right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. A few headlines before we talk with Lawrence. Mike Schilt, the former Cardinals skipper, gets a 2-year deal to become the Padres manager. So another opportunity for Mike. He's a good guy. Former Redbirds manager at one time. Former Cardinal skipper, as I mentioned, he replaces Bob Melvin, who left San Diego for San Francisco. Also from the baseball world, the Cardinals signed former All-Star pitcher Kyle Gibson to a 1-year deal. Yesterday it was Lance Lynn rekindling his old relationship with the Cardinals. They signed him to a 1-year deal. Now they get Kyle Gibson on a 1-year deal. Former Memphis Tiger running back Darrell Henderson waived by the Rams yesterday. He was waived earlier in the year, brought back, had a touchdown, I believe this past weekend, if I'm not mistaken, but he was let go after Kyron Williams returned from his injury. So Darrell Henderson looking for a new home to continue his NFL career. And if you missed this yesterday, Devontae Pack, who was the real good friend of Ja Morant, had his assault charges dropped yesterday. That was stemming from the pickup game at Ja's house in the summer of 2022, and of course the civil lawsuit still going on against Ja Morant. That's still to be heard and come to some conclusion. But as far as Devontae Pack is concerned, which I think he and Ja have kind of gone their separate ways. I don't know that for sure, but it seems like that is the case. Devontae Pack will not have any assault charges as they were dropped yesterday from his role in that event in the summer of 2022. College football, we'll talk plenty of that with Jerry Palm in hour number 2. Georgia remains 1 in the latest college football playoff rankings. Ohio State 2, Michigan 3, and of course they'll play against each other, Ohio State and Michigan this weekend. Washington does leapfrog Florida State. They move up from 5 to 4, with Florida State dropping to 5 and Oregon 6. We'll go over some of the other schools of note a little bit later on. But without further ado, time to kind of wrap up the soccer season, and it's been a busy one, and we do so with our friend Lawrence Dockery, the host of the 901 Soccer Podcast on Bluff City Media. He writes for World Soccer Talk. You can follow him on Twitter at LDoc93, and Lawrence joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
Doing good. There's a few topics I want to touch on, and I want to start with 901 FC. Now, this is something you probably don't have an answer to, but yesterday I'm sure you were following the news about the stadium. And then Craig Unger, who owns part of a company that owns both the Redbirds, the AAA affiliate of the Cardinals, and 901 FC, came out, made a statement about how disappointing it was that the AutoZone Park and renovations, that wasn't included as far as this is concerned. Now, one thing he didn't address was soccer and the future of a 901 FC soccer stadium. Most people believe that is out the window, Lawrence. So have you heard anything about that? And I wonder why Craig didn't address that when he sent out that email yesterday.
Yeah, I found that very interesting because once I saw the news that Jim Strickland said, "Sorry, no money for the soccer stadium, get out of here," I found that I immediately reached out to 901 FC and was told they have no statement at this time. So basically, a no comment as far as it pertains to the soccer stadium. So I did find it quite interesting that later in the day they issued a statement on behalf of the Redbirds. So I at this point I have no earthly idea where we stand on the soccer stadium and if there's plans for that going forward or not, because the USL has unofficially / officially told everybody in the USL Championship that you're in your own stadium by the 2026 World Cup here in the U.S. or else. And they're not playing around because just this year they shut down the San Diego Loyal for not having a stadium deal. Now, that's a little bit unique of a situation because MLS is about to show up in San Diego, so that's kind of probably played into it as well. But I don't know. I'll be perfectly honest. For me, the writing was on the wall about the soccer stadium and had been for many months. Once the state cut the check to the city of Memphis, and the discussion immediately became Grizzlies or Tigers. So the writing had been on the wall for some time about who was getting the money. And hopefully, if I had been able to see for that long that the writing was on the wall, hopefully I hope that 901 FC was able to see the writing on the wall and have, they've been using this time to explore other options because, I would like 901 FC to stick around. And if the USL is as serious as they seem to be, because a year ago when I interviewed Craig Unger for a piece that I wrote for World Soccer Talk, which, side note, is probably the best thing I've ever written, I asked him, and he straight up on the record, verbatim, said, there is no plan B. But that was a year ago when everything was kumbaya and the Grizzlies and the Tigers and the Redbirds and I don't want to see everybody was lovey-dovey. Once the check came in, that very clearly was not the case anymore. And I hope that they saw what I saw and have been taking steps and exploring other avenues. That's what I hope. But I have no idea if that's the case.
Again, under the mandate that you just mentioned from the USL, 2024-2025 is still in play because it has to be done by 2026. And we already know that Memphis 901 FC making plans with their roster for 2024. We know there will at least be a 2024 season, hopefully a 25, and then hopefully for years to come, soccer will remain in Memphis. That's to be determined. But as far as the roster is concerned, very interesting. After a couple of years in a row in the postseason and putting together very good regular seasons, this roster may look completely different. I noticed you're going to have some guys like Knight Pickering, who's under contract, back. Luis Fernando is back. But some of the guys that are out of contract include Aaron Malloy, Jeremy Kelly, Reese Buckmaster. These are familiar names. They did go out and they've already announced the signing and the return of Kyle Murphy, which is big. But I would think that this roster is going to drastically look different. Would you agree?
Yeah, to an extent, they did. So they do have 10 of the guys that were on the roster last year are for sure going to be back next year. They've already got 4 players under contract for 2024. That's Emerson Heineman, Bruno Lapa, Carson Vom Steeg. No, excuse me, that's Knight Pickering, Luis Fernando, Samuel Cariaga, and Lucas Turchi. They picked up second-year options for an additional 6 players. That was Emerson Heineman, Bruno Lapa, Carson Vom Steeg, Akeem Ward, Aaron Seeger, and Dylan Borsak. So you're going to have 10 guys back for sure from last year that were, you're going to have 10 guys back for sure next year that were here last year.
But they're not the names, I think, that other than Knight Pickering, maybe Fernando. These aren't the names that people are used to. Most of the score, you picked up Rodrigo da Costa. He is out of contract. I mentioned Malloy. We know how good he is. Jeremy Kelly. These are the big names that they won't have back.
That's true. That is true. Although when I spoke to somebody at 901FC the day they made all these roster announcements, they did stress that just because they are currently out of contract does not mean that they are necessarily not coming back.
There you go. Okay.
There is for sure a possibility, and that several of those players have expressed interest in coming back. I think the only one for sure that we know for a fact won't be coming back is Laurent Kisiadou, as he several days after the season was over, he posted on his various social media accounts that he was done here. But they are currently out of contract, so there's a possibility that they for sure aren't coming back. But there's also a possibility that they might come back. So we're just going to have to wait and see. It also is worth noting that they are still in ongoing negotiations to bring back Leston Paul and Rashawn Daly. Leston Paul, of course, been here since day one. He's one of the first players they signed, and he's the only original left on the team at this point.
That is a name very familiar to soccer fans. All right, moving on. The Memphis Americans will cease operations this year. Doesn't mean they can't come back in the future, but they're not going to play.
Yeah, they are. The turn of phrase is going on hiatus, and let's be real. When you're talking about, a minor league indoor soccer team, hiatus means they're done. They're not coming back, guys. Let's cut the crap here. This is here's what I'll say: the NISL, the league, is an absolute joke. Issues with players being paid on time, issues with referees being paid on time. You did have a former Super Bowl winning kicker in Martin Gramatica coaching one of the teams, and he got kicked out of a game against the Americans last year for verbally abusing the referee.
That was Tampa, right?
Yes, down in Tampa. Was allowed somehow to come back onto the field at halftime and berate the referee some more. And it got so bad that you had to have there were 2 DeSoto County Sheriff's deputies that had to escort him back into the locker room before the start of the second half. That all blew over. You had a brawl breakout after the game in front of the locker rooms. And but the Americans' games themselves were fun. You got a doubleheader, 2 games for the price of 1. You had a men's game and a women's game, and for all of the issues with the league, the Memphis Americans were the most consistently successful, like the only organization to have success on both the women's and the men's side. And
but they didn't draw.
Bummer.
They didn't draw.
No,
that's the reason. If they drew, they'd still be around, right?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
You were talking a good attendance for an Americans game was like 1,000 people.
Okay.
And there were plenty of games where I could sit up there at the top of the little press row up at the top of the arena and count how many people were actually in the building. It wasn't good.
By the way, if you can't tell that Lawrence is also a referee, then you should check yourself, because the comments he made earlier about what happened with the Americans, that's spoken from a true referee. All right,
I got 17 years in on it.
I know you not only talk the talk, you walk the walk, obviously being a part of a lot of matches. By the way, real quick, we don't have a ton of time, and I want to get to the Memphis run, which was fantastic both for the men and women. Have you ever been attacked or probably verbally sworn up and down, but have you ever been physically attacked as an official?
Yes, I have, as a matter of fact. Back in 2018, out of the tournament at Mike Rose, it was in a U14 boys consolation game in the stadium out there at Mike Rose. It was pouring down rain all day, and this coach for one of the local clubs didn't like that I called a foul outside of the box instead of inside of the box, which was hilarious because you could see because the field was so wet where the foul happened. The skid marks were about 3 yards outside of the box, and he wanted a penalty, and he didn't get it, and they ended up losing the game 1-0. And after the game, he comes running out to the center circle. You effing cost us the effing game, this, that, and the other. A couple of chest bumps, 1 or 2 shoves, and
jeez,
if I don't, there was a whole big conference call with Tennessee soccer. The whole big. I think he for sure missed one tournament because it was in between the incident and the hearing. But I don't know, if I'm not mistaken, the guy who owns his club, who runs that particular club, who ran that particular club at the time, carries a pretty big stick with Tennessee soccer. So I don't know that there was anything more than a slap on the wrist.
Okay. Memphis women once again reached the Sweet 16. Unfortunately, on Sunday, they lose in Fayetteville to Pittsburgh 3-0. The men make it to the second round. They win their first ever NCAA tournament match, beating Edwardsville. That's Eli's alma mater, and he's not here to praise his Cougars, but it was a nice win for Richard's team, and then they come back and have to play one of the top programs in the country, North Carolina, on the road and lose that one, but they lose in the second round. But all in all, that is just a fantastic run for the Memphis soccer teams.
Oh, absolutely. And, there's a lot of discussion about the women's team going like 18-1 in the regular season, with their only loss being on the road by a single goal to a ranked Alabama team that went to the College Cup semifinals last year, and they somehow were a 6th seed, which was egregious. Let's all be real. That was just absolutely
I agree with that.
Egregious. But once you got to the Sweet 16, I think that the seeding argument goes out of the window for 2 different reasons. A, against Pittsburgh, they were playing a lower-seeded team. Pittsburgh was a 7 seed. And B, Brooks Monaghan had said they were kind of expecting to be a 3 seed, so they beat the 3 seed Notre Dame, and had they been a 3 seed, they would have been in the exact same spot that they ended up anyway. The path was there because last year it was Arkansas that put Memphis out on penalties in the Sweet 16 in Fayetteville, and Arkansas got upset by Pittsburgh. So the path was there, but Pittsburgh, I think, probably felt like they were playing with house money and that they had upset the number 2 seed, and they came out, and it sucks that it ends the way it did for the Memphis women. That was a hell of a season. They had another home NCAA tournament game. They broke the Billy Murphy Track and Soccer Stadium record for attendance. They got over 2,000 people out there for the LSU game in the first round of the NCAA tournament. They were up 2-0 in like a minute and a half. It was absurd. And so that was, the whole season was just, it was a great ride, and nothing for them to hang their heads about at all. You beat 4 or 5 different Power 5 opponents throughout the course of the season.
No, it was unbelievable.
Champs, division champs, regular season conference champs, conference tournament champs for the 3rd straight year. Awesome season.
All right.
The men's side,
real quick, Lawrence.
Not as awesome. They didn't go as far, but they had a home NCAA tournament game against SIU Edwardsville. They got over 1,000 people out there. Won a home conference tournament game, won a home NCAA tournament game, and then just came up short against a quality North Carolina soccer program. They got a lot of good stuff going on over there at North Carolina, both men's and women's.
Listen, keep doing what you're doing, my friend. There's a lot of soccer fans out there, and you're doing a great job in covering the sport, and we love having you on. He's the host of the 901 Soccer Podcast on Bluff City Media. He writes for World Soccer Talk. He's a referee. He is a proponent of soccer, and I'm sure that anything that happens in the world of soccer, he'll have you covered locally and, of course, with Team USA and things of that nature. He is Lawrence Dockery. Follow him on Twitter at LDoc93. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend. Thank you so much for everything. We appreciate it.
Yep, thanks for having me on again.
Take care. Good stuff from Lawrence. Good stuff at Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. Now, tomorrow's Turkey Day. It's all about the turkey. I understand that. They're not going to be open. But every other day. Now, people have probably bought their turkeys from Corky's, right? I think they have it's too late now to order, but I think they did that. But as far as barbecue, I mean, you're talking about a Memphis tradition for 4 decades. You can dine in at any of their 4 establishments. In fact, I'm going to be going over there for lunch today. You can drive through, no contact delivery, have any of the services delivered to your home or office. They have specialized in catering. So if you want an event catered, no matter how small or large, they'll start you out as low as $8.99 per person for that delicious slow-smoked barbecue. You get out a third of a rack of ribs for just $6.99 when you purchase a barbecue sandwich, their award-winning catfish plate, or any entree. Party packs start at just $7.49. Lunch specials every day. It's Corky's Ribs and Barbecue. 4 convenient locations in the Mid-South. Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Ask about their private party room at either the Cordova or Olive Branch location, then give them a jingle and set up your time and date. While you're there, pick up a few Corky's gift cards. They make great stocking stuffers for Christmas. It's Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. And don't forget, 5 favorite things today. Get your lists in now, your 5 favorite places in Memphis, the metropolitan Memphis area, to get a sub or a deli sandwich, any type of sandwich. We're not talking about barbecue. We're not talking about pizza. We're talking about sandwiches, submarines, hoagies, the best places. 5 favorite. Give me 5. Send that list in. Sports 56 listener line. You can text it in at 901-360-8255 or hit us up with your lists on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Send it to the website, sportsmemphis.com. We'll go over the lists at 9:30 today with 5 favorite things. You're tuned into Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for a fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Roofs, and more roofs. Chris Price here with Metro Builders. Is your roof leaking? Do you have mold stains on the ceiling of your home or business? Is your carrier denying your claim or offering a repair simply because they don't have enough documentation? You need a contractor that performs work for insurance claims for policyholders each and every day, and Metro Builders is here to assist. Call Metro Builders. At Metro Builders, we provide free estimates, consultation, and claim repairs. Metro Builders' process of arriving, inspecting, diagnosing problems, and estimating is second to none, commercial and residential. Our team of Hague-certified technicians are standing by to assist you with providing estimates and photos to your carrier to document your loss. All you owe is what your policy states. No large fees on top of the final scope. We use high-grade materials and are certified by companies like Atlas, CertainTeed, Owens Corning, and Mulehide with labor warranties up to 50 years on all of our jobs. Metro Builders provides roof repairs across the Mid-South. Call Metro Builders to schedule your inspection free. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717.
A 3-carat lab-grown diamond for just $599? A 2-carat lab-grown for only $299? A 1-carat lab-grown diamond for just $99? It's not a mistake. It's Genesis Diamond's unbelievable lab-grown Black Friday sale. That's right. This weekend, Genesis is offering deals absolutely no one can touch. So you can put the ring of her dreams on her finger and get the deal of your dreams at the same time. Other stores are charging $10,000 for 3-carat lab-grown diamonds. But at Genesis, it's just $599. Their 2-carat lab-grown diamonds are over $4,000, but the Genesis price is just $299. And their 1-carat lab-growns are $1,500, but you can get a 1-carat lab-grown at Genesis for just $99. This offer is not too good to be true, but it is limited to the first 150 customers with the purchase of one of Genesis' exclusive settings. Imagine proposing to the love love of your life with a stunning 3-carat certified lab-grown diamond. Any shape showcased in a one-of-a-kind setting. Don't miss Genesis Diamond's lab-grown Black Friday event this weekend, including Sunday, on Poplar at Perkins Extended. See store for details.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Fall is in the air, and so are Choate's Early Bird Specials. Right now, receive $1,000 off the purchase of a new Carrier gas furnace. Carrier furnaces come with some of the best warranties in the industry, and Choate's has been professionally installing them for over 60 years. As a Carrier factory authorized dealer, Choate's also offers competitive financing solutions for you and your family. If your heating system is in good shape, make sure you take advantage of Choate's Early Bird Tune-Up Special for $60. This tune-up is an in-depth 20-point inspection to make sure your furnace is ready for the winter season ahead. So call 347-8086 to schedule your early bird special today. And turn to the experts with Choate's and let our family serve your family.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by East Memphis Ace Hardware at the corner of White Station and Quince. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. Short week for everybody this week with the holiday. So we are working for the weekend, which will start early. For some of you, it starts today and will last all the way until Monday, those that are fortunate. Others that are not so fortunate are working. I am with Zach Boyd. Eli is on the road with the Ole Miss Rebels basketball team. They'll play Temple today at 2 o'clock. We'll have that game for you right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Tomorrow, no local shows, obviously, with Thanksgiving. I already mentioned Packers-Lions at 11 a.m., and then we'll have the Egg Bowl for you, Ole Miss, Mississippi State at 4:30. On Friday, we will have a show. Now, I'll be with the Memphis Tigers football team in Philly. Eli will be off. Bryant Dacus is going to sit in from 7 to 10. Zach, you working Friday as well?
Yes.
So it'll be you and Bryant. I will join you guys, though, from Philadelphia at 9:30 and preview the Memphis Temple game as it'll kick off at 11 o'clock, 11:02, I think, to be exact, Central Time. So I'll be with the folks at 9:30. So yesterday, the council meeting, the city council meeting in Memphis about the stadium proposal and everything that came down yesterday, most, in fact, everybody but one, as far as the councilmen and women, liked the idea, approved the idea of handing over the stadium to the University of Memphis to run. There was one councilman who did not like that idea of just handing over the stadium, but others said, basically, I'm putting words in their mouth here. It's an albatross. You got to spend whatever you have to spend for new turf, for this or that. Now you don't have to deal with that, right? Let the university have the structure, have the stadium, and let them deal with everything. So I believe that won't be a hindrance. I don't know if it has to be a unanimous vote or not, but there was just one person that had an issue with handing it over to the university. If you missed it yesterday, if you were in a cave, of course, you had the big news from the gift from Fred Smith and FedEx of $50 million, and Memphis will raise $50 million plus $120 million from the allocated money that's going from the state to the stadium projects. That means $220 million when it's all said and done, but still the university has to raise that money. There's still some things that have to happen. We don't know for sure right now if it will start on time, but good chance it will, and that would be right after the AutoZone Liberty Bowl game. Now, Craig Unger, who is the team president of the Redbirds, part of that ownership group that owns the Redbirds and 901 FC, he had a statement yesterday that he released via an email and then on social media, and he made some really good points. If you recall, the original stadium proposal from Mayor Jim Strickland included 901 FC and a new stadium and refurbishment, renovations to AutoZone Park. I'll read some of the statement from Craig on behalf of the Redbirds. We are aware of the news that the city has come to a resolution on the stadium funding projects and are extremely disappointed that AutoZone Park, which was only seeking a small fraction of the state funding, has been left out. Since this process started more than 18 months ago, we have actively collaborated with the city on ways to achieve full funding for all projects, which is why it is so unfortunate that the critical needs of AutoZone Park have been overlooked. Once the jewel of downtown and the gold standard for minor league baseball stadiums, AutoZone Park is simply no longer considered a top facility in professional baseball. It is in desperate need of standard updates to basic infrastructure, relies on the building next door for critical systems, and is in danger of not meeting Major League Baseball's compliance standards. And then he lists a bunch of different things that need to happen to renovate and modernize and make sure it's within the structure of Major League Baseball's compliance standards, including updating a modern HVAC control system and make it a standalone facility, not to rely on the building next door for heating, air conditioning, and critical systems. Now, the ownership group has put some money into repairs. They fixed the scoreboard. Everything looks better as far as that's concerned because that was an eyesore. There are a lot of issues. So I can understand the plight of Craig Unger, especially when they were included in the original deal. But when the money runs out, you knew who was going to lose out on this. And unfortunately, it is AutoZone Park, and it is right now soccer. But gosh, I would hate to see one day the affiliation with the Cardinals and the team leaving Memphis, losing that, because I do believe in what he says as far as that being, a jewel. It has been for a long time. When it was first opened up, my gosh, was it nice. And then after years and years and years, I'm not going to say neglect, but not a lot of money put into it, you could see the wear and tear of that stadium. So certainly I understand his plight. All right, when we come back, hour number 2 is going to be really, really busy. We're going to talk Memphis Tigers football with head coach Ryan Silverfield. That'll be coming up at 8:05. Then we'll talk with Jerry Palm from CBS Sports on the latest college football playoff rankings. We'll talk some college hoops as well with Jerry. At 9:05, we turn our attention to the Grizzlies. To Michael Cole will join us, the Grizzlies and the Rockets. That means Dylan Brooks tonight in Houston. That should be something. And then at about 9:30, 5 favorite things. Again, your 5 favorite places in Memphis to get a submarine or hoagie sandwich, deli sandwich. Get your list together. It could be chains or it can be local. Put it together. List the 5 in order if you can. Send it to us via the Sports 56 listener line by texting in at 901-360-8255 or send it via Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or send it to the website sportsmemphis.com. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
A 3-carat lab-grown diamond for just $599? A 2-carat lab-grown for only $299? A 1-carat lab-grown diamond for just $99? It's not a mistake. It's Genesis Diamond's unbelievable lab-grown Black Friday sale. That's right. This weekend, Genesis is offering deals absolutely no one can touch. So you can put the ring of her dreams on her finger and get the deal of your dreams at the same time. Other stores are charging $10,000 for 3-carat lab-grown diamonds. But at Genesis, it's just $599. Their 2-carat lab-grown diamonds are over $4,000, but the Genesis price is just $299, and their 1-carat lab-growns are $1,500. But you can get a 1-carat lab-grown at Genesis for just $99. This offer is not too good to be true, but it is limited to the first 150 customers with the purchase of one of Genesis' exclusive settings. Imagine proposing to the love of your life with a stunning 3-carat certified lab-grown diamond, any shape, showcased in a one-of-a-kind setting. Don't miss Genesis Diamond's lab-grown Black Friday event this weekend, including Sunday, on Poplar at Perkins Extended. See store for details.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
How long has it been since you heard the term being overstocked? Well, it's happened at Family Leisure. Yep. That means you get the savings, like select patio sets that are up to 50% off. If you need a play gym, you're in luck because they're also overstocked and start at under $2,000. Pool tables and game room items up to $700 off of in-stock items. Saunas, massage chairs, arcades, even theater seating. Special financing is available with free delivery. Family Leisure is extending sale pricing on all in-stock hot tubs and swim spas. And if you need supplies to close up your pool for the winter, Family Leisure has them up to 30% off. It's been a while since you've heard of an overstock sale, but Family Leisure is right in the middle of one. Huge deals and a huge overstocked inventory. That means great savings for you. It's happening now at Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Well, folks, it's here. Tomorrow's the day. It's Thanksgiving. Hopefully, if you're preparing the turkey, you've been making all the proper steps. But if you still need supplies, the place you need to go is Memphis Barbecue Supply. Go see the folks, Jimmy and his entire gang over there. Maybe you've got some last-minute questions about how to prepare that turkey. Well, they can answer those questions. But if you need, especially if you're smoking that turkey, they've got your pellets, they've got your charcoal, they've got your logs, they've got your chunks, they've got whatever flavors you need as far as that is concerned. Brines, buckets, brine bags, they've got the brines, they've got the injectors, they've got thermometers, they got everything you need to prepare that turkey and your entire Thanksgiving feast and do it correctly. But you got to get over there today. You're running out of time, folks. How could you possibly take this long? But hey, they're there. They're ready. They know that there's going to be a big rush today for you last-minute people. Go see them, 7041 Stage Road, Memphis Barbecue Supply.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Up against the wall a few minutes ago in a very minor accident. Northbound 55 at Brooks. Traffic's on the increase just a bit up to South Haven. Again, it's not the worst we've ever seen it. Traffic's been a little bit lighter than normal this morning coming down I-40 and from Fayette County, passing 269. Looks good actually all the way up to Whitten Road. Hey, don't miss the Enchanted Garden of Lights at Rock City in Chattanooga this holiday season. Check them out online. SeeRockCity.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Genuine diamonds, baby.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 8:04 is the time. Welcome in. If you're just tuning in, missed our first hour, we talked with Andy Borman from the Bahamas as Tigers basketball gets ready to take on Michigan. First game of the Battle for Atlantis today at 4 o'clock Central Time. We also talked some soccer with Lawrence Dockery. Greg Gaston, Zach Boyd, Eli is off today. We're in the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. Their overstock sale continues at 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Currently 43 degrees. We're looking at intervals of clouds and sunshine. Just walked outside, looked sunny to me. We're looking at a high today of 52. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 38 degrees. Then tomorrow for your Turkey Day, a mainly sunny day with a high of 57 degrees. That is fantastic weather for Thanksgiving. Tigers on the road Friday against the Temple Owls to wrap up the regular season, and it's time to talk to the coach.
It's time to talk Memphis Tigers football. It's Sports 56 Mornings weekly visit with Tigers head coach Ryan Silverfield. Brought to you by ATC Fitness with 18 locations in Memphis and the Mid-South. Now, here's Coach Silverfield with Greg and Eli.
He is the head coach of the Memphis Tigers. He is Ryan Silverfield. You can follow him on Twitter at @RSilverfield. Coach, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How y'all doing?
Doing fantastic. Before we talk about on the field, the news yesterday, I'm sure as busy as you are, Coach, you can keep an eye and an ear on what's happening with that stadium. And that was just big-time news with Fred Smith and FedEx once again stepping up. And it looks like everything will be a go for the renovations to that stadium. And we know how important that is.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, tremendous effort by so many that were involved with that. So grateful for all those that were involved. And obviously, words can't explain my appreciation for the Smith family and their generous donation. And just so grateful for their continued support of the way we've been able to try to do things for our university, our city, and our football program.
You came up a little short against SMU on Saturday, 38-34. When you look back at the tape, what did you see? Because from my eyes, I thought it was a really good effort, but you made a couple mistakes, and just a couple is enough to lose a game against a quality opponent like SMU.
Yeah, look, I mean, they're going to end up being probably another top 25 team, but we certainly had every opportunity to win that football game. It starts, the opening drive. You throw it, and it's whether it's fumble or tipped ball for an interception or fumble recovery, and you can't have that, right? So you can't turn the ball over in the opening drive, and then some costly penalties on offense and even on special teams that were probably could have been change the game moments, and then defensively, just the inability to get off the field. Some third down stops we had to have. They were clearly winning their one-on-one battles. When they decided to throw it down the field, we've got to find a way to make plays in the football. They were, at times, throwing on us at will. And, you can't allow that. And you need the guys to continue to step up and try to stop the run game. So, blame to be passed all along, but we'll get cleaned up and excited for the task ahead on Friday.
Yeah, the biggest question I always get here on the show is about the defense. And we have seen at times the defense really step up and make a play. They had the 4 turnovers that they caused against Charlotte. They had the big third down stop to get them off the field that allowed you guys to go down and tie the game. But it's those gashes, those especially early in the second half, it looks like teams have taken advantage of the defense. What is it? I mean, you guys have broken down the tape, and I know that at times it looks like maybe they're worn down a little bit, but when you look back at what the problems have been defensively, and not all the time, but at times, what do you think it is?
Yeah, I mean, it's a combination of things, right? I mean, there's times where teams are able to line up, even Charlotte, they lined up in 13 personnel and just leaned on us and ran the ball down our throats, and we had a lot of missed tackles. We had D linemen not doing their assignments, probably not the best calls, a combination of a lot of things. And then all of a sudden you look at a team like SMU, like you talked about. I mean, they at will were able to throw the ball down the field, and that's quite unfortunate, right? We've got to put them in a better position by our defensive staff. The players have to make plays on the football. Sometimes we're in position and we're not even looking for the ball, which is it's poor. We're not getting much pass rush. So it's a combination of things. I'm not going to sit here and just blame, hey, it's just this one guy or just this position. It's truly a combination of things and inconsistent, right? Like sometimes you see like, wow, what great coverage, or wow, what great pass rush, and then other times it's this is unacceptable and clearly has caused us issues throughout the season, and we'll get it fixed. Obviously we study the tape. The coaches are hard at work. The players are hard at work. But it has not been to the standard that we need to execute.
I can't say enough about your quarterback, Seth Hennigan, who's battled injury this year. The game on Saturday threw for over 400 yards, is now over 10,000 as he closes in on Brady White's all-time mark. And again, another heroic effort by your quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he continues. I mean, last night I was visiting with him in the office, and, to think about it, he's still 20 years old. And I think people forget that. You look out there and a lot of these college quarterbacks, I think the starter at SMU was even older than him. And, he was a sophomore.
Right, right.
I think they came out in the same year, and the kid may be 2 years older than him. That's the way this thing works. But, he continues to battle. He continues to lead. I can't say enough wonderful things about the way he's handled himself, his growth. I know the question, even a month ago, Tiger fans are saying, well, how much has he improved? And I don't think anybody doubts that he's gone out there and battled and improved and wills us to find ways to execute this offense at a high level, and he'll continue to fight the rest of the season.
You have a chance to win 10 games. If you win Friday, that's 9. If you win your bowl game, that's 10. Only 3 times in the history of this program has a team, the University of Memphis football team, won 10 games. So even though you're not going to be able to make that ultimate goal of making it to the conference championship, you can really do some special things and things that haven't been done too much in the history of this program. So I guess my first question for you would be, going into this Temple game, what is the morale of this team after losing the tough game on Saturday?
Yeah, look, everybody's obviously frustrated, like we say. Unfortunately, it hasn't been as often, but, after losses, right, you got to learn from them, but you can't let it beat you twice, right? It's easy to be down and say, okay, well, we're not playing for the championship. Let's just get through this thing, Thanksgiving, and get to the bowl break and figure it out, and see what's in the portal and move on our business. But the guys have been absolutely wonderful. Their mindset, their approach, like I've said week in and week out, these guys have been just so steadfast and the way they want to handle their business. They're pros. They're young men that just come to work every single day. They've been positive. They understand what's at stake. They also know this, right? Playing at Temple, we all know, Tiger fans all well know, we have not won at Temple since 2014. We've gone into Temple with some arguably talented, very, very, very talented rosters and lost. So we've got to go there. We know it's going to be a challenge because of let's just say this, probably not the same temperature in Philadelphia this morning as it is in Memphis.
True.
We're playing, I think, our first game on grass of the season. People say, well, what big deal is that? That is a huge deal. I don't know how the crowd will be. It's a combination of things. So we've got to go out there and handle our business, really focus on the Memphis Tigers and going out and executing our game plan to the highest level and finding a way to get to that 9th win. And then we'll figure it out from there. But our guys have been great. And they really have. They understand the approach they need to take day in and day out.
Dimensions of the field are still the same, but you're playing in an NFL stadium where the Eagles play. Does that make any difference for players?
So, yeah, I mean, it's obviously a different locker room. People forget the NFL locker rooms are, hold arguably maybe 45 that were active on dress, and that stadium's old enough to remember when only 45 players dressed in NFL games.
Right.
53 on an active roster. Well, you guys have got to remember we have 122 on ours. Not that we're traveling with that many. So there's the dimensions of the locker room. There's the field layout. There's obviously the Eagles play that Sunday, I believe.
Yes.
So there'll be their logo may be in it. What they've done is they actually keep the NFL numbers on, which for fans, the NFL numbers are actually closer to the goalposts. And when I say that, they're tighter to the center of the field.
Oh, okay.
They paint over their hashes, so they have college hashes out there, and then their college numbers are actually tick marks. So credit to our grounds crew. They did a phenomenal job. This weekend after the SMU game, I said, hey, go out and paint our grass fields to the best of your ability to replicate what Temple may look like. And, obviously you can still see some of the old markings, but they've done a nice job of trying to replicate those fields. So those are things that we've got to be aware of, because it's easy in the middle of a game. You can line up, hey, I'm lined up at the top. Oh, wait a second. I'm 4 yards different than what I need to be, which can make all the difference in a play.
Coach Ryan Silverfield joining us here on the program. As you talked about before, this is a Temple team, for whatever the reason is, the Tigers have struggled with going into Philadelphia, have lost 3 straight. If there are going to be any problems on Friday, I can guarantee you, and I think you'll back me up on this one, it'll be caused by E.J. Warner. That's Kurt Warner's son. He's their quarterback, and he's dynamic. Yeah, I mean, he's 5th in the country in passing yards per game. So this is, people, it's very easy to just look at the Temple record and say, oh, okay. But I think, you look at every team in this conference, that the record may not be exactly what you want. One, they play each other, and they've also played the SMUs, right, the UTSAs, these top 25 teams out there, the Tulanes, just like we all have, and those are battles. And then E.J. Warner, throw for over 300 yards a game. There's a reason he's 5th in the country in passing. When he was hurt a little bit of the season, and in those games they lost, and they weren't as prolific on offense. But when he's out there, it's a quick release. He knows where to go with the ball. Obviously, a Hall of Fame quarterback's son, so he's been studying the game for a long time. So what is the game plan tomorrow, being that it is Thanksgiving?
Well, you guys already know I'm going to eat a lot. No, we'll bring the guys in normal. Tomorrow's Friday in my brain, so like I always tell you guys, I can't wrap around this anything else. So tomorrow's a Friday type schedule. We'll bring them in, meetings, quick practice, and then we're going to do a Thanksgiving lunch here in the old cafeteria, and it'll be fun. Well, it's going to be a quick one because we've got to hurry up and load the buses and head to the airport and then fly out. So we're going to do our best to try to enjoy and be grateful and thankful to be around each other tomorrow more than anything, and try to enjoy a quick Thanksgiving lunch, and then the pregame meal tomorrow night. As much as I would love to have it with stuffing and turkey and all sorts of pies, we're going to have to hold off on that tomorrow night and just make it a normal pregame meal, if you will, because it's an early game, and then hopefully find a way to be 1-0 on Friday, and then maybe the guys can have some of their leftover family Thanksgiving stuff on Saturday.
Yeah, I thought you were just going to order the turkey without the tryptophan, so you don't, fall asleep. But having it earlier in the day, the guys can sleep on the plane, and they'll be rearing and ready to go come Friday. All right, so before we let you go, the end of the regular season is after Friday's game. Then, of course, the possibilities of bowl games. I'm not going to talk to you about that because your guess is as good as mine. We don't know at this point. But when do you start to talk to players about their future? And we know that the transfer portal is coming up soon. So when does that start to happen, Coach?
It's already started to happen. I mean, this is college football where it is. Our players have been reached out to by, you can say it's illegal, but they've been reached out to by numerous other teams and handlers and agents and high school coaches with their hands out looking for money. So this has already started occurring. So these conversations, unfortunately, right, and instead of, sometimes just focus on the task at hand at a place like Memphis where we've had tremendous football players, the teams are going to come in and try to buy them away from you. And then you're also going to have guys that are looking for other opportunities. So, I mentioned before, we're not where we need to be in NIL. I think we're going to get there. But, when most of the teams you play have more money than you, they can come in and try to get some of your guys. But we've had those conversations. We'll continue to have them. And then I'll sit down with guys like I do every year and kind of talk to them about it. But you're dealing with 18 to 23-year-olds, and hopefully they make the right decision, and we're going to have the discussions on what's best for their future here as well.
Yeah. In professional sports, they call it tampering. I guess they don't have a name for it in collegiate sports just yet, but it is the way it is right now in collegiate sports, specifically collegiate football. But Memphis will be ready to go, folks, on Friday. They'll take on the Temple Owls, looking for win number 9. Coach, thank you as always. Really appreciate your time. I'll see you on the plane to Temple.
Absolutely. Thank you, and to all of our fans, appreciate your support. Have a wonderful, safe, and healthy Thanksgiving. Go Tigers.
Thank you, Coach. Coach Ryan Silverfield joining us on the program. By the way, as far as the conversations have already started taking place with his players, and that's understandable with the portal opening up. I know that Seth Hennigan was asked after the game about what he's going to do for next season, and he said he was going to be coming back. Jonah Dillon was on our program yesterday from the Commercial Appeal, and he said that it was sort of a leading question, kind of backed him into a corner there. But that's the key right now. That's first and foremost, is to be able to retain him. Now, after last year, it didn't look like there was any hesitation from Seth. And what's really strong is that Seth is a son of a coach. And I'm not saying that sons of coaches don't certainly want to get their share, but I think there's a better opportunity because of that, because he loves Memphis, that he'll want to finish his collegiate career here. It is not set in stone. And as Coach said, there are schools coming after players. And I can guarantee you, he's just one of a number of players that they are going to go after. And you're going to see players, like he said, that will just want to move on just to move on, and that is their prerogative. But that's the way it is now in the wild, wild west of collegiate sports, specifically collegiate football. James Gaddis Jewelers is the second hour sponsor of Sports 56 Mornings. Can't thank James and his family enough for being with us for so many years now. And I want to mention once again that you are invited to their Jingle and Gems holiday party. This is your invitation to sip, savor, and shop. James Gaddis Jewelers On Thursday, November 30th from 5 to 8, mark it down on your calendar. Thursday, November 30th from 5 to 8, they will have this holiday party. 'Tis the season to sparkle and shine, so join them for a night filled with live entertainment, festive cocktails, savory bites while shopping their newest arrivals just in time for the holidays. You're looking for something special for that special one in your life. Head on over to the Jingle and Gems Holiday Party. Again, your invitation, Thursday, November 30th from 5 to 8 at James Gaddis Jewelers, 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick in the heart of East Memphis. James Gaddis Jewelers is your family's jeweler. When we come back, Jerry Palm joins us from CBS Sports. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Here at Memphis Barbecue Supply, we have everything you need for your Thanksgiving feast. If you're smoking, deep frying, or putting that turkey in the oven, we got over 20 different turkey injections and brines to keep your meat juicy and moist, with brine bags and buckets, and 308 different rubs and sauces to choose from. If you're in need of fuel, Memphis Barbecue Supply carries 9 different types of wood chip, chunk, mini logs, and logs of wood, and over 4 tons of wood pellets in stock. And don't worry, we also carry thermometers, injectors, and all other sorts of gadgets that you might need to simplify your cook. And for any questions that you might have, our knowledgeable staff is always eager to help. Memphis Barbecue Supply is located at 7041 Stage Road in Memphis, or you can order online at mbbqsupply.com. Follow us on all the social media platforms for recipes, new products, and barbecue news.
Wow, I feel good. Shopping at Drive Max. Drive Max. Drive Max. You get value.
Need a car that screams I feel good? Drive Max has it all. From cars to SUVs, find a tightly inspected used car that'll have you dancing all the way home. Call 901-664-2424 or visit DriveMaxApproval.com.
Drive Max. I got approved.
When you think about insurance and you want great value without sacrificing great service, I want you to think one place, the Eflin Insurance and the entire Eflin Insurance team. Matt and his group of professionals will access 10 leading companies to find the right home and auto program that fits your budget and your absolute needs. The Eflin Insurance team, the number 386-GER, 386-4777.
Start your day the right way at La Palapa with the biggest, baddest breakfast burrito around. Chorizo, cheese, rice, beans, and eggs served with fresh salsa, and it's served all day. La Palapa has daily lunch specials, all served with rice and beans, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Try a torta, breaded chicken, steak, chorizo, or ham served with mayo, avocado, lettuce, tomato, and jalapenos, all in a hoagie. Plus amazing soups and dinner entrees, all at La Palapa, 5255 Summer Avenue. La Palapa, the little hut with big taste.
A good friend of mine told me about this awesome place for lunch.
Oh, yeah? What's the name?
Neil's Grill and Bar, where the fat man rocks. Everybody knows Neil.
Where's it located?
It's located in Yorkshire Square off of Quince.
And what's it like?
The best lunch place in Memphis. You know, like real mashed potatoes and gravy. Everything is made from scratch. Monday through Friday, daily lunch specials like Monday, baked chicken, Italian Tuesday, spaghetti, ravioli, Italian spinach, delicious fried catfish, fried chicken livers every Wednesday, Friday, Salisbury steak, barbecue chicken, or if you just want a vegetable plate, the best veggies in town.
What about the lunch price?
Meat and 2 veggies, $8.95. Meat and 3 veggies, $10.95. And veggie plate, $9.95. Big fat boy portions, man.
Man, you're making me hungry.
Come hear the best live local music at Neil's. Eddie Smith plays Sundays 5 to 9, Mondays karaoke, Tuesdays Debbie Jameson, Wednesdays Elmo and the Shades, Thursdays John Williams and the A440 Band at Neil's.
Where the fat man rocks.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswingerglass.com. Binswanger Glass. Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
Sports 56 traffic.
We had that minor wreck earlier northbound 55 at Brooks where those cars were up against the wall. Traffic still moving right now on 55 coming up from South Haven into South Memphis. Still holding up right now 385 Biltmore Parkway. We've checked it there from Riverdale all the way up to 240. Hey, Weimer's Jewelry's gearing up for Black Friday. Go by and see them today and shop local at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Happy Thanksgiving Eve. Tomorrow it's all about the turkey. Well, ham for some. For Zach, it's all about asparagus, I believe. Of course, we got the stuffing or the dressing, whichever one you want to call it, the cranberry sauce, which I hate, the potatoes. Oh, I'm getting hungry thinking about it. We do it like once a year, man, right? I'm not talking about Thanksgiving. I'm talking about like the big turkey dinner. Do you have does anybody have the big turkey dinner like in the middle of July? No. You have the one big turkey dinner on Thanksgiving. Now, the night before, right, Thanksgiving Eve, that's tonight, what do? Usually something, well, anything's lighter than turkey, for goodness sakes, but you don't want to cook. So you usually run out and maybe get some pizza, maybe get some Chinese food, maybe get some wings from the Crazy Coop or your favorite wing stop. That's probably an option. You don't want to go in there and start cooking a lot tonight when you're cooking for Thanksgiving. I'll ask Jerry about that as he joins us next. It's time for JP.
It's time for Sports 56 Mornings Weekly Chat with Jerry Palm, college football and basketball writer and bracketologist for CBSSports.com. Here are Greg, Eli, and Jerry.
We talk each and every week with the one and only Jerry Palm from CBS Sports, CBSSports.com. We're talking college football. We're talking college basketball. We're talking Thanksgiving. You can follow Mr. Palm on Twitter at JPPalmCBS. Happy Thanksgiving, Jerry. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Happy Thanksgiving.
We got a lot to get to. By the way, dressing or stuffing?
What
do you call it?
Dressing. Well, actually, it's kind of interchangeable around here, but I usually go with dressing.
Is it dressing in the Midwest? I thought maybe because you're north.
Sometimes, if it's actually stuffed in the turkey, it's stuffing. If you make it separate, then it's just dressing. And
that makes sense, right?
Because
I mean, that's the definition of the word. You're stuffing the turkey. That's got to be stuffing. If it's around the sides of the turkey, you're dressing up what the turkey is with other stuff around it, making it look nicer.
I'm normally a word precision guy.
Right.
I like to be precise, but I don't really have a religious fanaticism about that particular choice.
Nor do I, but every year we always have to bring the darn thing up. I don't know why. I think it's part of my contractual obligation. Oh. So for 5 favorite things. Now, since again it's more Memphis oriented, what I told Jerry last night, folks, was that, and of course you can go national chains as well here in the Memphis area, but I told Jerry national chains or in his hometown, his area where he lives, his 5 favorite delis or places to get a submarine, if you want to call it a hoagie, that's fine. But we're not talking about chicken. We're not talking about pizza. So sandwich shops. Jerry, what are your 5?
Number 5 is McAllister's.
We have that.
You do?
Yeah.
I know it's a chain. I didn't know if it was local or greater than that.
Yeah, we have it here.
Panera. Number 4 is Panera.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really have subs, but they have sandwiches.
They do.
Number 3 is Jimmy John's. You surely have that.
We do.
Number 2, Jersey Mike's. Don't know if you have that
We have
or
Jersey
not.
Mike's. Yes, we do.
Yeah, it's a good one. And then, of course, number 1 everybody has is Subway.
Subway is number 1 for you?
Honestly, the top 3 are interchangeable for me. I'll go to any of those, and it's usually whichever closer or I happen to see.
So you don't have a local deli or sandwich shop that you want to put on your list? Really?
I don't have one. I mean, I only go to 3 of those most of the time. I mean, there's 2 that I'll hit occasionally. The last 2 I'll get to, it's like McAllister's. I'm there maybe a few times a year. If we've got local shops, maybe we do. I don't see them. I don't get around them.
I hear you. We have several. We're not New York. I mean, this isn't the deli capital of the world. You want great deli sandwiches. New York's not the only place, but
it's different. But I'm out in the suburbs.
Exactly.
In the suburbs, you get a lot of change.
I hear you. Okay, let's dive into. Well, actually, I want to start with basketball. We got a lot of football to talk, but since basketball's really heating up with these Thanksgiving holiday tournaments. Last night, for those who stayed up late, they got a chance to watch Marquette, the number 4 team in the nation, beat down the number 1 team, Kansas, 73-59. I didn't see that one coming. It was never a game.
It was never really a game. Marquette, speed, ball pressure, athleticism was too much. And Kansas, it's not like Kansas is slow and plotting.
No.
Purdue will be more slow and plotting, and they're not even really that anymore. But they also have Zach Edey. And Purdue's played Marquette like 3 years in a row in non-conference play, like in the Gavitt games. They kept getting Marquette. So a lot of familiarity there for tonight. But, the Marquette Hunter Dickinson did okay. But, they've got some younger guys, Kansas does, and Marquette was just better in every aspect of the game from the opening tip.
Shaka Smart's a hell of a coach.
Oh, yeah. Terrific. He was at VCU, took them first 4 to Final 4, right? Turned down a bunch of jobs, and then eventually took Texas. And I saw him take that job, and I may have said something to you at the time, and that doesn't feel like a good fit.
I think you said that, and I probably thought differently. I thought he would win big at Texas. It didn't happen.
Well, it's not like the resources aren't there, but I just don't think that the culture of that school was a good fit for him. He's a kind of a Midwestern guy. He's actually from Wisconsin. So, when he got the job to go back to Marquette, I thought, oh, this is great for him. He's going back home-ish. And in a school, in an environment, a league where, his comfort level is good, he's going to fit in so much better. And so I'm not surprised at all that they're doing really well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a terrific coach, and he just had to find the right gig, and this is the right gig for him.
No, I love Shaka. I was stunned last night the way they handled Kansas. I
mean, they're number 4 for a reason.
I know, but I didn't expect Kansas to go down by 14. Like you said, they were never in the game. So
they weren't.
Now tonight, Marquette and your Boilermakers, they beat Tennessee yesterday 71-67 in a game in which 51 fouls were called.
I don't. It was like 78 free throws combined.
That's crazy.
There were more free throw shots than the winning team scored. And Purdue missed a ton. I think Tennessee must have not done very. They shot like 70%. That's not too bad. But Purdue shot like 60% from the line.
Right.
Braden Smith couldn't hit anything. Fletcher Lawyer was 0 for yesterday and gets 27. Purdue's got a lot of guys who can beat you. You really can only count on one every single night. But it's otherwise it's whoever has a hot hand among the other 9 guys they play. It's a very versatile team. They can do so many different things offensively. A good defensive team, and they've got the ultimate rim protector in Zach Edey. And he had a little foul trouble last night too, which obviously limited things. And he still got his 25 and 10.
Yeah, well, Tennessee ran some bigs at him, but the Tennessee bigs couldn't.
But they all fouled out.
They fouled out. They couldn't find the ocean from the pier. There was a lid on the bucket. Any cliche.
Their bigs were in foul trouble too.
Yeah.
Again, it's hard to guard Zach Edey without fouling him. So the question has always been, are they going to call the fouls? They call about half of them. So there may be a little more. And, Zach just plays through it. You don't hardly ever see him even give a sideways glance to an official after, plays, because he just knows that's the nature of the thing. He's going to get his share of foul calls. He's going to shoot a lot of free throws. And he's getting better at that. So, it's Purdue's a tough guard, because how do you guard 7'4"? You don't have it yourself.
No, but we saw, what happened in the tournament last year. So there's ways, but it has to go perfect if you're going to knock that team off with a guy as dominating as he is.
I was kind of hoping to get Kansas because Purdue had a lot of success against Hunter Dickinson.
Right.
And I have never had that high of an opinion of him. Everybody has him as a first-team All-American, and I'm not
Dickinson?
that high on.
You're talking about Dickinson.
Yeah.
By the way, do you have any idea what Edie's making NIL-wise? Any rumors out there?
Low seven figures.
Low seven figures.
That's the rumor. I can't confirm that. I don't actually know. And it's hard because, he's Canadian. And, it's hard for the foreign guys. So they have to be really creative with him.
Any story we're only a few weeks into the season, but any story that's gripping the college basketball world, anything we should be paying attention to here early in the season?
I mean, honestly, it's like this tournament because you've got 4 of the top 7 teams. It's like Tennessee or Kansas is leaving Hawaii with 2 losses, and those are great teams.
Right. Right.
It's just such a loaded field, and UConn looks ready to defend their title. Like they look like they haven't lost anything, even though they lost quite a bit. It's obviously a different makeup, but they look terrific. I don't think there's going to be a dominant team at the top of college basketball, or even 2 or 3. Like the top 8 in college basketball, when we get to the NCAA tournament, 1s and 2s, it may be another one of those years where, anything could happen among that group of teams because there's not going to be a lot of separation at the top.
Hey, by the way, and I know polls, especially early in the season, don't really mean much, but it was interesting with Memphis as they get ready to play in the battle for Atlantis starting today against Michigan. They're off to a 3-0 start. If you paid any attention to the AP poll, they were 26th last week. And, they took care of business. They won a big one against Missouri on the road. Then, of course, Missouri loses to Jackson State. But Memphis also has a win over Jackson State. Anyway,
Missouri's going to be great next year.
but long story short, they're 26th. Teams lose. We figured Memphis moves into the top 25. They are leapfrogged by a couple of teams from behind, jumped them, including Virginia, which lost. And Virginia, by the way, is on the Memphis schedule. Is that unusual? Like normally if you're sitting there 26 and a couple teams lose and somebody's going to jump into the poll, it's usually that team.
Yeah, but this is early in the season where, the polls are still mostly guesswork.
Right.
So people tend to overreact to early season results because they don't have anything else other than, perhaps incorrect preseason expectations.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
In January, no, that wouldn't happen, probably. But in November, pretty much anything can happen.
All right, let's talk football. Before we get to the top of the selection committee's standings, towards the bottom, this just blows my mind. I know it doesn't mean anything right now, but Tennessee, and we got a ton of Tennessee fans here in this area. Tennessee is 7. Follow me on this one. I know you know this, but for those who are listening, Tennessee is 7-4. Mm-hmm. They're still in the college football playoff top 25. They lost to Florida, got crushed the last 2 weeks, have wins over middle-of-the-pack SEC teams in a down SEC year somewhat, Kentucky, A&M, and South Carolina. They got a win over a 2-win UConn team. They got a win over a 1AA team in Austin Peay. They got a win over a 3-win Virginia team. And they got a win over UTSA without Frank Harris, their star quarterback, playing in that game. How the hell is that team in the top 25?
Well, I predicted they would be, although lower than they are.
How? You're telling me there's not a team below that's not in the poll that's not better resume than Tennessee?
I'm trying to predict what the committee will do. So I didn't predict they'd be in the top 25 because I like them. I don't.
Oh, I know. But come on.
It's in fact, Bo. No.
Yes, Bo Corrigan.
Boo.
Right? Boo Corrigan, right? Is that his name? Boo Corrigan. Yeah, not Bo.
Yeah.
Did we have a Bo before?
They asked him about Tennessee, and he described their talent. Oh, they can run the ball. They've got a few guys on defense. And it's like, what is this?
Peyton Manning played there. Peyton Manning played there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's his
a big stadium.
I don't know. He's either the best or the worst press conference committee chairman ever. I mean, he's probably the best for them what they want.
There's
because
no
they want
middle
you to
ground.
say absolutely nothing.
Oh,
Do not
my
answer
gosh.
anybody's question. That he's great at that. Not answering anybody. He doesn't give you anything.
He
It's
doesn't
like,
give you anything. You're right.
They don't even talk about like individual players. I mean, you're not being judged on individual players, or it's just, like I said, it's not the NBA draft. You're just talking about what these teams have done.
I liked the debate, and you probably don't watch ESPN, but I liked the debate with Joey Galloway and McElroy, and they were all debating. They were basically debating Washington, Michigan. So Washington jumps Florida State. Florida State, unfortunately, loses Jordan Travis, but Washington, which has been really impressive, they jump them, so they go to 4. Michigan's 3, Ohio State's 2. They'll play each other this weekend. But Washington, they're looking at the resume, and they're arguing resume versus eye test, because I think Boo has brought that up before as far as the eye test is concerned. The eye test will tell you.
It's a much bigger deal in football than it is basketball.
No
because
question.
You have so little data that's reliable to work with in football.
But the eye test,
plug-in seasons, you just can't.
The eye test and the resume for Washington is actually better than Michigan. They should actually be ahead of Michigan.
Certainly is. The resume certainly is. Michigan, up until this week, had been obliterating everyone.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. Just recently, and you got to take the whole season into consideration. Believe me, I know that wasn't a good win. It was a win, so every win's good. But they beat Maryland, my alma mater. I know how bad they are.
And how bad they've been, too.
Yes, and they barely got by
Michigan's
them.
the first time they looked competent in a month and a half.
Right, plus you had Harbaugh out. You have all these factors in.
Yeah.
But if you're going week to week and you're looking at the total picture, Washington, which was 5th, by the way, not even in the top 4 with what they have done this year, should easily have been in the top 4. But really, if you look at it now, they should be 3.
Well, I mean, I'm fine with that argument. I don't watch the selection show. I'm busy working during the selection show. I actually get the selections off Twitter because I don't even. I'm doing video myself.
No, I completely understand.
So I don't watch anybody else's stuff because I can't. But it's. I think there's a reasonable argument to be made. I haven't really advocated for it because I don't think the committee's going to do it. I've been busy trying to get Washington, advocating that Washington should be ahead of Florida State for the last 3 weeks. It took them forever to make that move.
Right.
So it's we're arguing here about eventual playoff seeds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if Michigan is the Big Ten champion, they're going to finish ahead of Washington. They just are. But they'll have to beat Ohio State and Iowa to do that. And that'll be, 2. They've got one good win now, Penn State, and so that'd be 3. But the way the way their season is gone, I like Ohio State this week.
You like Ohio State?
I mean, I've had Michigan in my bowl projection, and I had them there again Sunday in the playoff projection. But the more I think about this game, the more I like Ohio State because they're a different team with TreVeyon Henderson back in the lineup. I mean, it's a more dynamic offense. Michigan's quarterback is better, unquestionably.
McCarthy.
But the weapons around the quarterback favor Ohio State.
I agree.
Their defenses are pretty equal. But on offense, Michigan's going to send a bunch of defenders and offensive linemen into the NFL and maybe their quarterback. But I don't think the other guys are going to get much of a shot, maybe Corum. But the Ohio State sending a bunch of guys on both sides of the ball. They could have first-round picks, and Harrison Jr. could go very high, and TreVeyon Henderson could go in the first round as well.
Mm-hmm.
And and not having Jim Harbaugh on the sideline for this game, I think matters.
Well,
because
Ryan Day needs to win. He needs to win this, Jerry. I'm not saying they fire Ryan Day, but if they lose another one to Michigan,
no. This last year Michigan won in large part because Jim Harbaugh was coaching to win and taking some chances and believing in his players, and Ryan Day was coaching not to lose. And he was being passive, and he was not trusting his players. And this year, I don't trust the offensive coordinator more, Sharon Moore, I think it is, for Michigan, who's been the interim coach, to be as confident and aggressive as Jim Harbaugh is on the sideline.
Final thing, different topic. Ross Dellinger did this story, and he quoted Damon Evans, who is the athletics director at the University of Maryland. He said, this is Evans, in the near future, power leagues will operate separately and share revenue with athletes as part of a reshaped NCAA. Forced into action by the latest antitrust case, leaders are considering models for the Great Split. It's nuclear. Do you see that happening?
Eventually, something like that. Yeah, it's always really been talked about that the major conferences would split off from the NCAA. That's been kicked around now for at least 5 years publicly.
But just the power leagues?
Yeah.
Leaving everybody else in the dust?
Yeah.
See, yeah. I have said, I didn't even think about the taking over the NCAA, that type of thing.
I'll go one step further. Mm-hmm. I would not be surprised. That might be like a first step. I wouldn't be surprised if the power leagues take the cream of the crop of those leagues and split off.
Yeah, I've heard that too. But also the other scenario would be, which is the scenario I've talked about for years, first brought up by the one and only Jackie Sherrill, that he said there will be 4 20-team leagues, and that will be basically FBS as we know it. Now,
well, you've almost got that now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So I can see this happening where they kind of take over basically the NCAA, and they seemingly already are, and they have 4 20-team leagues. So I think what you may still see is more movement. I don't know if it's going to be next year, but in the next few years, I think you could see where you end up having the 4 conferences. Obviously, the Pac-12 is done. We'll see. Washington State and Oregon State will be brought in by somebody, probably the Big Ten. Who knows? But I could see where it almost...
More likely the Mountain West.
Yeah, but the Mountain West... No, but not if they split. They don't want to be a part of the Mountain West.
No, I know.
We're talking about the power conferences. And if you're going to get to the... I'm just saying in my scenario, if you're going to get to 20, and they may not do that, but you're talking about 80 teams, there's still spots. There's still that movement we may see from the ACC where teams want to leave.
If such a thing happens, I think first of all, the big conference names that we've all gotten used to probably go away or totally get restructured. If they end up with 64, 72, 80, whatever teams in 4, you'll see a more geographic realignment.
Oh, you think so? It'll be that massive? Okay.
Yeah, because there's going to be Western schools involved, and there's no reason to have 4 conferences, if you will, headquartered east of the Rockies when you're going to have so many teams. So it would make more sense if you're going to do that kind of a reorganization to go ahead and reorganize geographically as well.
No, that makes sense. As long as they don't call themselves LIV. Just, get a whole nother name for the new college football world.
I'm kind of hoping that I'll be retired, or possibly dead by the time all that happens.
How about that? Siri just said there are something, I don't know what, maybe she's already, she's forecasting the future here. She just kind of went off on her own there. She was listening to our conversation, Jerry. Big Brother's listening.
Yeah, you got to be worried about that too.
I know. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your lovely family. Yep. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you, JP.
All right, thanks.
I appreciate it. That was weird, Zach. I'm not even near my phone. She started talking about college football. I heard her say 32. I don't know what that means. So I'm a little worried. I'm a little scared here. But we appreciate Jerry Palm joining us on the program. When we come back, we'll finish up hour number 2, talk a little Grizzlies, yet another player injured, and then in hour 3, more on the Grizzlies with DeMichael Cole. Tonight, the Grizzlies in Houston to take on Dillon Brooks and the Rockets. Could we see fireworks? And then 5 favorite things. Get your lists in now, folks. Your 5 favorite Memphis area places to get a submarine sandwich, a hoagie, a sub or a deli sandwich, whichever way you refer to it as. No chicken, no pizza, no wings. We're talking about sandwiches. Get your lists in. You can send them via the Sports 56 listener lines by texting in at 901-360-8255 or send them via Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or send them to the website, sportsmemphis.com. You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Experience the taste of Italy at Little Italy's newest location in East Memphis at 6300 Poplar. Little Italy has great Italian food for all your friends and family, and it's all your favorite dishes, from lasagna to rigatoni vodka, Alfredo, even lobster ravioli. Try East Memphis Little Italy's very generous calzone, hot from the oven and stuffed with your choice of meats and perfectly melted cheeses. To celebrate East Memphis Little Italy's new location, with your purchase of an 18-inch pizza, get a bottle of Chianti for only 56 cents. East Memphis Little Italy wants to spoil you with a piece of Italy you can feel, taste, see, and enjoy, and eat. East Memphis Little Italy, 6300 Poplar, hidden in the back at the corner of Poplar and Massey. East Memphis Little Italy brings Italy to you.
Tease the season at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for holiday specials this year. Featuring the TaylorMade Stilt 2 Carbon Woods that combine speed and forgiveness to unlock forgiveness. Now up to $100 off. And from Bushnell, the new Tour V6 Series laser rangefinders provide you the most accurate distances in golf. There's always gift cards at any amount for the special golfer you're shopping for. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Shop us in store or online at worldwidegolf.com.
Jenkins Floors and More in Hernando is growing. This family business started up 5 years ago with just one pallet, and now they have hundreds. Tim, the owner, gets calls from people everywhere and can sometimes save them up to 50% on wood flooring, carpet, tile, and vinyl. Jenkins Floors and More helps with renovations, home building, and installation. Jenkins Floors and More, number 6 East Commerce Street in Hernando. Also in Little Rock and coming soon to Tennessee. Call 662-469-9350 for more information.
It's time for the holidays.
Blah, humbug.
What, you're not all excited for the turkey and dressing and cranberry sauce?
The cooking, the cleaning, the relatives.
Well, you got people coming in from out of town?
Hi, so many people.
It'll be fun.
All I want to do is go to Central Barbecue.
That's all you ever want to do.
Alone.
Come on, it's the holidays.
Just sitting there in a booth all by myself, enjoying Central Barbecue, no family, being all festive.
Well, you enjoy your own private Central Barbecue holiday.
That is all I ask.
Let's end this year with a bang with Gossett Mitsubishi's Mitsubishi Motors year-end sales event. You want huge savings? We Gossett. The awards keep coming for the world's first and best-selling plug-in hybrid SUV, 2023 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, 420 total range, and PGE. We Gossett at $299.96 a month. Plus, 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, buy for $26,850 or $379 a month. Plus, IIHS top safety pick in seat 7, 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander, $32,185 or $399 a month. All equipped with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. You want it, we Gossett. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
PHEV PZ062 MSRP 44,355, 84 months, 500 military and conquest or loyalty rebate. Outlander RZ 006545, MSRP 33,185. Sport RU 001,004, MSRP 27,850. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Memphis's oldest restaurant, Coletta's, was established in 1923 to give Memphians the best Italian food possible. And I'd say they got it right. They are the creators of the barbecue pizza. It was Elvis's favorite, and I know for a fact that a large will feed one person all weekend. If you need to feed several, though, Coletta's caters any event. Choose from homemade lasagna, ravioli, Alfredo, primavera, and so many other delicious items you can't help but enjoy. Impress employees or clients and treat them to Coletta's for lunch or dinner. Plan ahead and get your holiday party booked at Coletta's. Elvis's favorite place to go eat with his buddies at the South Parkway location, and Coletta's even has an Elvis room dedicated to him. Call Coletta's on South Parkway at 948-7652 or Appling Road at 383-1122. Coletta's. It was Elvis's favorite, and it should be yours too.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
This is how bad it's been for the Grizzlies injury-wise. Injury report, medical update came out yesterday about a guy who doesn't even play. After further assessment, Jake LaRavia will undergo a procedure to address a corneal abrasion of his left eye. He will be reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks and is expected to make a full recovery. I assume he got hurt in practice, but who knows? Maybe he didn't. He hasn't played in a game in forever. The guy's been out, and now he is out for 2 to 3 more weeks before he'll be reevaluated. There are 3 players, Zach Boyd, who have played in every game for the Grizzlies this season. Just 3. Who are they?
Desmond Bain.
Correct.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
You are correct, sir.
You said not correct?
No, you are correct.
Okay. And David Roddy?
Good job. Go get yourself something from the gift room. Go pick something out on me. Good job. By the way, the Grizzlies tonight in Houston. We will talk with DeMichael Cole in our next hour. Do you expect Dylan Brooks to cause some kind of stir? Will he do something? Will there be some extracurriculars?
Of course there's going to be extracurriculars. It's Dylan Brooks.
Do you think there will be some kind of pushing or shoving going on?
I can see some jawing.
Some jawing? Okay.
Yeah,
you don't think it'll get physical?
Some little talk back on the court. I think somebody put it on Twitter yesterday that said that Desmond Bain and Dylan Brooks double technical going to hit different.
It's going to what?
Hit different. It's just going to feel a little different.
Oh, gosh, it's going to feel a lot different. Well, think about it. Desmond Bain and his progression, along with Dylan Brooks doing stupid things, made Dylan expendable. Now, he was a free agent, I understand that, and signed elsewhere. But if everything was honky-dory and we didn't see Dylan climb the ladder the way he's climbed, he would be more of a necessity for Memphis, and maybe in the long run he would have been here. But he was expendable. Desmond Bain is a great version without maybe the tenacious defense, but the way better shooting and offense. Now, it'll be interesting to see if Brooks tonight goes off of what he has done so far this season. He has shot a high percentage of threes, but he hasn't shot that many. He's not hogged the ball. He's played team concept basketball. He's played ferocious defense. Will he get uncharacteristic for this year and go back to his old Grizzlies style, and all of a sudden you look up and he has taken 16 of the first 22 Rockets shots? I don't think so, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk again to our friend DeMichael Cole coming up in hour number 3. By the way, the Memphis Tigers today against Michigan at 4 o'clock. The Tigers are a 1.5-point favorite. The Tigers are favored in that game by 1.5 points to take down the Michigan Wolverines. Well, 'tis the season for expressing thanks to family, friends, and associates. So let Dinstall's create a sweet thank you for your clients and employees. Today, I'm not sure when they close, but today's your last chance to pick up those chocolate turkeys for Thanksgiving. Also, the Cashew Crunch, the Turtlettes, all their great delectables, snacks during the day. If you're waiting, I usually eat Thanksgiving. Now, tomorrow's going to be weird. I'll be with the Tigers, and we'll be flying to Philadelphia. But normally, it's later in the day, like late in the afternoon. There's some people that'll eat at like noon, but if you eat at noon, then you start snacking at 9. If you eat at 4 or 5, you start snacking at 1. And great snacks include those delicious chocolates from Dinstall's. Call today. Let them create sweet memories for your holidays. Remember, they can ship anywhere in the United States. Check out their 5 locations. Stop by Laurelwood or Germantown, maybe Collierville, Pleasant View, where they make the candies. They even have a shop in downtown Memphis. Dinstall's. They have put a smile on a lot of people's faces as they've been making these delectables for more than 120 years. Made in Memphis, enjoyed by the whole world. Hour 3 of the program coming up next. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The holiday shopping season is just about upon us. Friday is Black Friday, and boy, this weekend at Genesis Diamonds, do they have a special deal for you. All 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they've got their huge sale going on lab-grown diamonds. How about a 3-carat lab-grown diamond, just $599. 2-carat lab-grown for only $299. 1 carat for just $99. That's this weekend at Genesis Diamonds that they're kicking it off on Black Friday, and it goes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Other stores are charging $10,000 for their 3-carat lab-grown diamonds, but at Genesis, we're talking $599. Now, this deal, which again is good Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, is limited to just the first 150 customers with the purchase of one of Genesis exclusive settings. So again, that's just 150 customers are going to be able to take advantage of this awesome sale going on, kicking off this Friday, Black Friday, at Genesis Diamonds. Genesis Diamonds, located in the Poplar Commons Shopping Center. That's Poplar and Perkins Extended. Go check them out. Get that holiday shopping done early with the folks at Genesis Diamonds.
Year-end means huge savings at Gossett Kia on the Pike with the season of giving back. How about 41 MPG for those holiday road trips? 2023 Kia Forte LXS, $229 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Family road trip, 2024 Kia Sportage LX with class-leading cargo room and rear seat legroom, $299 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And get where you're going for less in a 2023 Kia EV6 Wind, 134 City 101 Highway MPGE, $379 a month, $49.99 due at signing, all 36-month lease. Plus a free Charger with your EV purchase and Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Ask for Bobby J. He's ready to put you in a new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month lease, $650 acquisition fee. Must finance through Hyundai. Forte LXS PE $694,095. MSRP $21,610. Sportage R722 $72,39. MSRP $28,715. EVP $560 $33,93. MSRP $50,200. Includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 11/30/2023 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
How's the Christmas shopping going? Yeah, that's what I thought. But Frontier Western Store will make it a lot easier. Everyone loves something from Frontier. They have thousands of coats, shirts, and boots. Outfit the entire family today. Looking for a Carhartt beanie? Frontier has every color they make. You'll find a whole wagon full of beanies. You'll also run into the largest selection anywhere of in-stock Carhartt and Ariat jackets and coats. They have endless aisles, an astounding collection at amazing prices. Don't forget the boots, work boots, and dress boots from Rocky, Dan Post, and especially Ariat. Frontier is the place to shop for name brand boots at the lowest prices every day. Way lower than chain stores and online. Thousands of boots in all sizes for men, women, and children. Not sure what to get? Frontier gift cards are always the right size, color, and price. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, or shop online 24/7 at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Join Jaron, Dez, and your Memphis Grizzlies this Friday at 4 p.m. when your Grizzlies host the Phoenix Suns in the final group play game of the in-season tournament. Get in on all the in-season tournament hype and secure your tickets today by calling 901-888-HOOP or visiting Grizzlies.com.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station. We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah. Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Hadn't been too bad as far as serious accidents. There's been a couple of fender benders out here, including that one we had earlier on 55 northbound at Brooks. It's starting to finally pick up just a bit coming in from Collierville on Billmore Parkway 385 as you head towards 240. Lots of radar already out here. Give yourself plenty of extra travel time. Weimer's Jewelry is gearing up for Black Friday. Go by and see them today and shop local at Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Power is everything.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Final hour for us today here on Sports 56 Mornings. The Wednesday, November 22nd, 2023 edition. Thanksgiving Eve, if you will. Greg Gaston, Zach Boyd, Eli is off today. We're going to talk Grizzlies with DeMichael Cole from the Commercial Appeal in just a moment. Right now, the sun is shining. Looks really nice outside. And we're looking at a mostly sunny, but there will be some clouds. So intervals of clouds and sunshine day today. High 52. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 38. And your Thanksgiving looks pretty nice. Mainly sunny with a high of 57 degrees. A little bit later on in the hour, 5 favorite things, your 5 favorite places in the Memphis area to get yourself a hoagie or a sub sandwich. We're not talking about chicken sandwiches, or we're not talking about like Chick-fil-A and things of that nature. We're not talking about pizza. We're not talking about wings. We're talking about deli sandwiches, submarines, things of that nature. Hoagies, if you like to call them hoagies. Put your list together. Send them to us via the Sports 56 listener line by texting in at 901-360-8255, or send it via Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or send it to the website sportsmemphis.com. Without further ado, it's time for DeMichael Cole.
2 watches, that's 12. Come through and slam on you. I'm in the air. Boys, all said and done.
It's time to talk some Grizzlies basketball. Joining Greg and Eli is DeMichael Cole, Grizzlies beat writer for the Commercial Appeal. Here's DeMichael with Greg and Eli.
We talk each and every week with DeMichael Cole. He's the Grizzlies beat writer for the Commercial Appeal. You can follow him on Twitter at DeMichaelC. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for joining us.
Happy Thanksgiving, Greg. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited about tonight because you don't know what could happen with Dylan Brooks. Anything is possible. I know it's the first of 3 meetings they'll have with Houston by December 15th. So you're talking about in the course of, 3 weeks, they're going to play Houston 3 times. But tonight's the first one. What are you expecting?
I'm expecting some fireworks from Dylan's side, and I want to see which Grizzlies player is going to be the one to take the bait. Right now, It's been very clear. Like the Grizzlies are, I guess you can say the word would be unbothered by, DB's antics. It's kind of like they're joking about it. You know how like you have the guy who plays like the bullying role, and people are just laughing like, man, what are you doing?
Right.
Like, we know you. And that's kind of what the Grizzlies approach has been. We saw, yesterday after practice, the players were kind of joking about it. And even, in the past couple days, like in the locker room, guys are asking each other, like, what do you think? You think Dylan's going to stare us down like he did LeBron and the Clippers? And, like, it's all fun to them, but they know what to expect. Dylan gets on the floor. There's no friends out there.
I would have a hard time if I'm a member of the Grizzlies and Dylan gives me that mean mug look and stares me down. I'd probably laugh.
Yeah. It's hard to, a guy like Jeremy, you spent 5 years with this guy, and Desmond Bain, you spent a lot of time, with him, and all of a sudden, like, he's looking at you like you're the arch enemy. Like, it's kind of funny for them.
But don't think for a second that Dylan doesn't want to get the last laugh. He wants that team to win. Look, they're 6-6. They're actually playing a lot better than anybody thought they could. Good start to the season for them. They expect to beat the Grizzlies.
Oh, yeah. They expect it. And you got to remember, this summer, I remember I was talking to Dylan out in Vegas, and he was telling me, he said 4 times, That's something that, Dylan is very conscious of the idea that signing with Houston gave him 4 shots at the Grizzlies. So, you're thinking Dylan is about to come back and it's going to be like a whole love fest and he's going to be all sentimental and stuff like that. No. He wants to beat the Grizzlies and he wants to, prove a point.
Couple of the quotes from Dylan Brooks attributed to Dylan. He's talking about the Grizzlies here. You can see they have no swagger. It's not like that is a false quote, but I think the reason they don't have the swagger is because they don't have the team.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, right? Dylan, that's always been one of those Dylan things. Dylan thinks much more highly of Dylan than some people. Now, a lot of people think highly of him, but sometimes you catch Dylan saying some things and you think it was an all-star, perennial all-star talk instead of, a guy that's played his role. But yeah, I like you said, I wouldn't say it exactly is a false, thing, but at the same time, in Dylan's mind, it's more so because he's not there.
Yeah.
Whereas in most people's mind, it's because Ja and Steven Adams and Brandon Clark and Xavier Tillman Sr. and Luke Kennard and Marcus Smart, it's because you're missing, not only just missing guys, you're not missing bottom of the roster guys. You're missing guys. I mean, they have over $100 million of salary right now, or just pinned on, with injuries.
It's not the Grizzlies. It's not even the Grizzlies light right now. It is a facsimile of this Grizzlies team that nobody likes right now. Nobody's enjoying watching. Although this past weekend there were some positive signs, which I'll talk to you about that in a second. But not to harp too much again on this meeting tonight. The interesting thing is, look, Ja's not here. Ja's the swagger. Ja's not here. Dylan, yeah, he brought some swagger. He brought a lot of other stuff too, and that's why he's in Houston. But when he compared himself to the ex-girlfriend that the Grizzlies didn't know they were going to miss, I laughed so hard when I read that. The Grizzlies players had to be laughing at that quote.
They had to. I mean, what else did you expect from Dylan, right? That's a Dylan Brooks quote all the way. And I just never thought that Memphis would be on the other side of them, right?
Right.
For years, we laughed at him going at other teams with stuff like this, and now Memphis is the team kind of receiving, these things. But yeah, I'm not surprised that's how he feels. And you can, from his perspective, you can argue that it's warranted. He left the Grizzlies, and they've been bad since he left.
That's right.
The reasons that they've been bad is where he doesn't align, with the thinking of most people, in Memphis. But you could make an argument that right now, if they had Dylan Brooks at this present time with the way that the roster is constructed, he could eke out a couple extra wins for them. But again, we know that the moves for like Marcus Smart were more of April, May type moves and potentially June type moves than a playoff move. Than a regular season move.
Well, I can tell you when we went into the season, probably even after Steven Adams, that news came down that they weren't going to have Adams, knowing they still weren't going to have Ja, I guarantee you when we were all dissecting the schedule, we looked at Houston and thought, even with the injuries, even with the suspension, the Grizzlies will take care of business against the Rockets. They got 3 games to play in this calendar year still, and yet that is not going to be that easy. It's not going to be the case. Maybe they'll win, maybe they won't, but it looked like, it's a shoo-in. It's Houston. They're young. They're at least a couple years away, but they are clicking right now. They're finding their way. So tonight will be a challenge. Now, here's the good news. Saturday, they rallied from 19 down to win in San Antonio. That gave the team a big lift. First of all, they needed the dub, but it showed that they can rally even with the roster they have from down 19. They come back Sunday, as you know, you're there. They're going toe-to-toe with the Boston Celtics. Nobody's in the moral victories, but they battled them tooth and nail. So at least there's some positives going into this next array of games, which are going to be extremely pivotal.
Yeah, and I think they've developed, a couple interesting, sublines, storylines about this team now. Like I'm down here in Houston right now. We'll probably talk to Dylan Brooks in a little bit here, but One of the things I'm interested in finding out is, like, this specific to Houston right now, but it's going to be a storyline with all these teams guarding the Grizzlies. With Santi Aldama in the starting lineup, you create a situation that's really tough on opponents because more times than not, teams are either going to have to guard, Santi with wings or Jaren Jackson Jr., with the wings, because other teams aren't going to be playing. They're not going to guard Bismack Biyombo with a wing because of his rebounding prowess.
Mm-hmm.
So take a game like this one against Houston, for example. The front court is, Dylan Brooks at small forward, Jabari Smith, power forward, and then you got Alperen Sengun, at center. Typically, if you just look at this matchup, real surface level, you say, oh, Dylan Brooks is going to guard Desmond Bain. Makes the most sense in the world, right? Well, look at it a step deeper. Dylan Brooks will likely have to guard Santi or Jaren, and Jabari Smith will have to get the other matchup because let's say you put Dylan on Desmond Bain, which makes a lot of sense to me because that's the Grizzlies' number one scoring option. You put Dylan on Desmond Bain, like the Rockets probably may choose to do, then Jalen Green, who's 6'5", probably $190 at this point. Jalen Green will have to guard Santi Aldama more than likely. And that's 6'5", 190 against pretty much 7 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And Santi, he's not the most physical player in the world, but it's hard for me to look at that matchup and say Santi shouldn't, dominate that matchup.
All right, correct me if I'm wrong, because I might have my timing wrong, but before Marcus Smart went out with his injury, Smart, Bain, and then Jacob Gilyard was starting, right?
Yep.
They were all starting together. What's interesting is you have Smart, ball handler, Bain, ball handler, and Gilyard obviously is a point guard, and they played all three of them. Smart gets hurt, and now they finally decide, you know what? Even though we're minus a ball handler, we're going to be minus 2 ball handlers because we're going to take Gilyard out of the starting lineup and go, like you just said, with the big going with Santi Aldama. So we're not talking about exchanging one guy. We're talking about really exchanging 2 backcourt players with handles, putting a lot more pressure on Bain to run the show, to score as well. But, as you said, gives them a huge front line where who's stopping Jackson and Aldama when they both got it going. So it's an interesting change in philosophy from Taylor Jenkins.
Yeah, and it's all about the spacing, So it's kind of similar, ideas to what they've been emphasizing since this summer. It's just a bigger emphasis. Like here's how I put it. The small forward position. We talked about it pretty much all summer long. We talked about it last season. We talked about it every year. And the thing about the Grizzlies small forward position, when you have a backcourt that's typically, Ja Morant and Desmond Bain, that third starter, you don't need that player to be some guy who is an amazing scorer. I mean, that'd be great, but you just need someone who's going to stretch the floor, who's going to knock down open three-pointers, and who is a legitimate three-point threat. Dylan Brooks wasn't enough of that, on the offensive end. He was everything you needed on defense, but he wasn't enough of that on offense. Santi Aldama, the pressure that he put on opposing defenses, I mean, he took 15 three-pointers against Boston. I don't think you want a guy taking 15, every night, but the type of pressure that he put on Boston's defense was exactly what the Grizzlies have wanted for the wings. It's almost like, wow, now if you can get Santi's mindset into, a Jake LaRavia, a Zaire Williams, or, a John Conchar, or whoever the case may be, and you got your small forward. But, so the spacing is what they're emphasizing. I think what you were talking about with the playmaking, the Grizzlies offense was struggling real bad, at that point. And Taylor Jenkins was just to the point like, hey, look, I'm going to throw Gilyard in the lineup to put everybody in their normal position. Now Desmond Bain can go from playing this point guard, sometimes shooting guard role, to going back to playing this normal shooting guard role where he's off the ball and he gets more catch and shoot opportunities and plays ran for him. And then there's a, kind of a ricochet effect. Everyone goes back to their normal position. But now, they're saying pretty much screw that. You put Desmond Bain on the ball a little bit more and you deal with it. But you get more spacing as a result with Santi Aldama in the lineup.
Yeah, and we saw it They almost pulled it off against Boston with that big lineup, and they're going to more than likely, according to you, try that again. And that's a decision that's made by Taylor Jenkins. And these are the reasons, or just one of the reasons why I think the guy is a really, really good coach. I don't understand the bashing of Taylor Jenkins. Now, maybe you're on the other side. How do you look at it? Because we get a lot of texts and calls and criticism of Taylor Jenkins. Maybe I'm caught up too much in the smoke and mirrors of finishing second the last 2 years in the West. They went to the postseason and struggled, but they also had injuries and suspensions, and I don't blame that on Jenkins. So how do you look at Taylor? I think he's the right guy for the job.
I'm with you, Greg. I'll admit, bro, I'm a little surprised that you're on that end of the spectrum. I'm a little bit surprised.
Oh, I'm a big Jenkins fan. I am, and I've always been.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Like, for one, we've seen this Grizzlies team, not to this level, but in the last 2 seasons, they got off a slow start as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and whether it was the defense, you know, last couple years or a couple years ago, you know, when John Morant, you know, got hurt early in the season, the Hawks game, and in the FedEx Forum, and he missed a couple weeks, and then he gets back and they go on a nice run and things like that. So we've seen them get off to slow starts, not necessarily to this level, but that's kind of been, you know, something about this team. But we've also seen each time they got off to a slow start, especially defensively, they end up turning it around. They end up being one of the best defenses in the NBA.
Yeah.
One big thing about being a head coach is you have to have an identity. Once your identity is lost, that's when I think you can start questioning job security. Right now, this current team doesn't have much of an identity, so that does create some questions. But when John gets back, I think we will see some type of, you know, identity form with this team. Like they're very big at getting in transition and scoring in the paint. And I mean, at the end of the day, personnel matters. Like if you're a big rebounding team like the Grizzlies are, you have to have elite rebounders. They got Bismack Biyombo, who has been really good in his role, but Jaren Jackson Jr. has never been an elite rebounder. So you can't expect, you know, someone to become an elite rebounder just because it's being emphasized, you know, in meetings and stuff like that. You don't have Steven Adams out there. You don't have Jonas Valanciunas out there. Paint scoring. John Morant's been one of the top paint scorers in the NBA the past 2 seasons. Well, now you look at it, the Grizzlies, I think for the first time under Taylor Jenkins, they're like outside of the top 10, you know, in paint scoring right now. And lo and behold, it's because John Morant isn't on the floor. So some of the key identities that they've established over the last 4 years are missing right now, but it's because key players are out of the rotation. I say my whole mindset on this thing, Greg, is when John gets back, you see how this team plays. If they're still struggling, you know, winning at a 30% clip, you know, with John Morant back, then you really have to bring in some questions because at the end of the day, even if you don't have top-tier role players, you still have 3 guys playing at close to all-star level. So you should win more than 30% of your games. But at the same time, I'm with you. I think defensively he has separated himself as one of the coaches, you know, maybe top 5 when it comes to, you know, emphasizing the defensive side of the basketball. And I think as guys like Desmond Bain, Jaren Jackson Jr., Luke Kennard grow on the offensive end with John Morant, the offense will kind of take shape. They still have notable weaknesses, but they're starting to take shape a little bit, and I expect them to improve, you know, just enough. But yeah, I'm with you. I think he should be saved until he gets a couple more of these pieces back.
All right, final thing before we let you go. The team right now at 3-10, and you kind of alluded to it just a moment ago about Ja's return. We know after 25 games. Here's the thing. 57 games once Ja returns doesn't mean he's playing in 57 games, and we know they're not going 57-0. The next 2 weeks are extremely important. This week coming up, leading into next week, I think is really important. At Houston tonight, then you have home games. You got Phoenix on Friday. You have Minnesota on Sunday. They're good. They got Utah on Wednesday. Utah's not a good team, but they've lost to them twice now. Is there? I know you're not out of it after 25 games, but is there a record that they have to hit, in your opinion, that we all don't say at the 25 game mark, they're done. It's over. There's no chance. They're 3-10 right now. For example, if they went 3-22, the season's over. Let's be honest. I don't care if there's 57 games left. How many games that will make you think, okay, all right, they're still okay. Now they got Ja back?
Yeah, I've looked at this, and I've hovered between, 4 to 5 more wins. So 7-18 or 8-17. 8-17 is really the number, I think. If you can get to 8-17, because I'm looking at right now, the top 8 in the West, the Suns are the 8th seed. They have 8 wins. And the top 10 in the West all have 7 wins.
Okay.
So you're talking about what most of these teams will play 12 to 13 more games. So I expect all of them, the teams that I just mentioned, to get 3 to 4 more wins at least, possibly even 5 for all of them. And with that being the case, you're talking about, at that point, getting to the 25-game stretch. 5 games, 6 games behind those guys. I think if you can go into that stretch 5 games, behind, I think you're okay. But 6 is like the number where it's like, okay, you can go on a 8-game win streak and still end up, 3-4 games behind those guys, and that's going to be, a tough pull. So for me, it's 8-17, which is 5-7.
5-7.
Yep.
Wow. 5-7 seems like, that's easily attainable. But 5-7, the way the team's been besieged by injuries, decimated by injuries, yeah, I hope it's at least close, right? We don't want to be talking about, oh my gosh, it's gonna be tough to get the 5 total wins and go 5-20. But it starts tonight in Houston. That is where DeMichael is. He will have you covered with all the Grizzlies action tonight, and who knows what will happen with Dylan Brooks. Check him out at the Commercial Appeal. Make sure to follow him on Twitter at DeMichaelC, and catch him every Wednesday talking Grizzlies with us right here on Sports 56 Mornings. Happy Thanksgiving, and thanks to Michael as always.
All right, happy Thanksgiving, Greg. Talk to you later.
Appreciate it. All right, there you go. Zach, he thinks 5-7 the next 12 gets them to 8-17 through 25, gives them at least a chance once Ja comes back and some of the other walking wounded.
Yeah.
Makes sense to you?
I think they, like I told Johnny yesterday, like the Grizzlies, they're actually playing pretty good. It's just it's certain games. It's just they got to be able to close it, and you could tell they missing that extra gear to close out games. But they've been playing well.
The last couple of games they played well. And again, I give a lot of credit to Jenkins because he and his brain trust came up with the idea of going bigger with Santi in the starting lineup and taking Gilliard out and going with Bain basically on the ball. So that's coaching changes as well. That's coaching philosophy that comes into play as far as that is concerned. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. Call Brandon McCullough at 901-438-5084 or go online to newroofmemphis.com. They offer financing, different plans and options to choose from, including a 6, 12, or 18-month same as cash option. They'll work with your insurance company. They'll work out of pocket, whatever it takes. They do residential and commercial roofing. So business owners and property managers, obviously homeowners as well. If you have a leak or any other roofing problem, call Brandon today. They'll come out and do a free roof inspection. They are licensed, bonded, and insured, and a member of the Better Business Bureau. Don't forget about the $100 referral fee for all new roofs. You get a 5-year labor warranty on a purchase of a new roof. Satisfaction with all their work is always guaranteed. If there's something you don't like, they will take care of it for you. They do carpentry work, exterior painting. They can replace gutters, put up fencing and siding, rotten wood repair. Brandon, in fact, is a certified shingle installer. Quality work at a very reasonable price. Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration for all your roofing and home repair needs. Don't wait until it becomes a major headache. Nip it in the bud. As Don Knotts once said, as Barney Fife. Brandon McCullough is the name. 901-438-5084. The company, Pinnacle Roofing and Restoration. You can go online to newroofmemphis.com. Oh, by the way, if you missed some of our earlier interviews, we opened the show with Andy Borman, Memphis Tigers assistant coach, who joined us from the Bahamas. Ryan Silverfield joined us in hour 2, Tigers head football coach. You can always check out these interviews on our website. That's sportsmemphis.com. You can go to the Sports 56 Mornings podcast. We break it down hourly, and we will have both Coach Borman and Coach Silverfield's interviews up on featured audio, so you can check it out at your leisure. When we come back, 5 favorite things, your 5 favorite places in Memphis to get a sub or a deli sandwich. Send it in via our Sports 56 listener lines, 901-360-8255. Send in your list. Don't call in. Or you can also send it in via Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or send it to the website, sportsmemphis.com. You still have time to do it. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
They're taking care of business in Memphis, right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
I feel good shopping at DriveMax. DriveMax, you get value.
Need a car that screams I feel good? DriveMax has it all. From cars to SUVs, find a tightly inspected used car that'll have you dancing all the way home. Call 901-664-2424 or visit DriveMaxApproval.com.
DriveMax, I got approved.
Pizza lovers and sports fanatics, Ferraro's Pizzeria is your Sunday ticket headquarters. Catch every pro game on multiple big screen TVs while enjoying $2 beers, $9 beer buckets, and mouth-watering pizza. We're talking the cheesiest, most delicious New York pizzas in town with all your favorite toppings. What are you waiting for? Grab your family and friends and get to Ferraro's, corner of Jackson and Main, just east of the Pyramid. Enjoy every pro game at Ferraro's Pizzeria and Cheesy Corner, your game day destination.
Tease the season at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for holiday specials this year. Featuring the Ping G430 drivers, which combine the ultimate combination of distance and forgiveness. And from Bushnell, the new Tour V6 Series laser rangefinders provide you the most accurate distances in golf. There's always gift cards in any amount for the special golfer you're shopping for. Edwin Watts Golf Shops is home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee. Shop us in store or online at worldwidegolf.com.
Make the season extraordinary when you shop the spectacular holiday collection at Sissy's Log Cabin during the sales tax paid weekend, November the 24th through the 27th. From engagement rings to designer jewelry, you'll save on gifts everyone will love, all while enjoying the Sissy's promise of unmatched service and experience at any of our 6 locations or online at sissyslogcabin.com. Embrace the magic of the season only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Witness the power.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. Got 5 favorite things in just a moment. Again today, Ole Miss Temple, 2 o'clock, college basketball. Eli on the call for the Rebels, and that will be from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where I'm headed with the Memphis Tigers football team tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, Packers-Lions, we'll have that game for you at 11 a.m. right here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM. And then the Egg Bowl, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. That will start at 4:30 with the pregame. Friday, we got the Dolphins and the Jets at 1:30. Saturday, the big clash at the Big House, Ohio State, Michigan. We'll have that game for you at 11 a.m. Then we have a Sunday triple header in the NFL. Steelers at Bengals at 12. Chiefs at the Raiders at 3. Ravens at the Chargers at 7. And then Monday Night Football, the Bears at the Vikings at 7. Time now for 5 favorite things.
This is Gordon speaking. And I just love a number that's the same as my finger. You see,
see, I got 5 fingers on this hand, and that's 5.
5. Now let's stomp 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm in. High five.
I got 5 on it.
Five favorite things.
All right, Savoy had the topic this week. He came up with places in Memphis, the metro Memphis area, to get a delicious sub or deli sandwich. It can be a chain. It could be a one-off, a local establishment, a mom and pop store, whatever the case may be. Maybe you get a sub in a convenience store, whatever the case. 360-8255. You still have time to get your lists in. Order your lists if you can, 5 through 1, 1 through 5. That doesn't matter. Just put numbers next to it. And please include 5. Thus, 5 favorite things. I don't know how many people text me with 1 or 2. 1 or 2. 5 favorite things. 901-360-8255. That's the Sports 56 listener lines. Text into that number with your lists or send it via Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, or send it to our website, sportsmemphis.com. I have Eli's list. I'll read Eli's list. Then I'll have my list. Then I'll hand things over to Zach. And then we have lists to read as well. So let me start off with Mr. Savoy. Number 5, Jimmy John's. Number 4, Benelli's Deli. Number 3, Jason's Deli. Number 2, Fino's. And his number 1, Louie's Deli and Meat Market, which I am not familiar with. And I don't have a chance to ask him now. I'll ask him later. Louie's Deli and Meat Market is his number 1. 5 favorite places to get a sub, deli, hoagie here in Memphis. Here is my list. Number 5, Jersey Mike's. Number 4, the Super Sub Shop on Summer that used to be on Highland. I know that people know it by another name, Zach. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about here, but I'm not going to say that because that's a little bit, you don't want to say it. It's not, it can be misperceived as being racial, but I'm not going to say it. But people know what I'm talking about. It's the Super Sub Shop on Summer. Number 3 for me is Fino's Italian Deli, which, by the way, was way better when it was on Brookhaven. I know they got the original on Madison. But, man, when they had that one on Brookhaven, that was my go-to. Number 2, Schlotzsky's. There is a sandwich from the Schlotzsky's that I absolutely love, that turkey sandwich that has everything on it. Man, it's good. And number 1 is Jason's Deli. Quality and variety, and not just because they're a sponsor here on Sports 56. So there you go. There are my lists. Now, this is a little bit tough, Zach. You're not eating the meat, so you're probably getting a salad or something else. But what is your 5 favorites here in Memphis?
So I want to start with an honorable mention. So I want to go with the Yum's restaurant.
Yum's. Okay, I see Yum's all over the place. I've been here for 28 years. I've never eaten at Yum's.
They're good.
But again, I can't ask you because you don't eat meat, so I don't know how good
Well, I mean, I eat the
sandwich is.
veggies. That's the thing. I eat the veggies, but I know, like, Yums is, like, really good.
People like it. I mean, they've been around, and there's a lot of them, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be okay. They've sustained this, presence in Memphis for that many years. So, all right, what else you got?
Yep, so they deserve my honorable mention. Number 5, I want Jason's Deli as well.
Okay.
Number 4, Lenny's. Number 2, Jersey Mike's.
You skipped 3.
Say that again?
You went 5, 4, 2.
Oh, I did?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. that lets you know where my mind is at. Well, number 4, Lenny's. Number 3 is Subway.
Okay.
Number 2 is Jersey Mike's. And then number 1 is Cookie Canuck.
Cookie Canuck's not a deli.
It's not a deli?
No, that's that's a burger place. You can get some other stuff. No, I cannot include Cookie Canuck.
Okay. Well, we can scratch
great place,
Canuck
but not
and
a
then
deli.
Just elevate everyone to.
Okay, so you put in the number 5, you put it Yums.
Yeah, Yums is 5.
Okay.
Jason's Deli is 4. Lenny's is 3. Subway's 2, and Jersey Mike's is 1.
I'll accept that. I can almost guarantee Eli would have also said, yeah.
He probably
you can't
would.
include Cookie Canuck.
I was trying, man. I was trying.
Okay. Front Row J sends me the list in. Number 5, Jersey Mike's. Number 4, again, Super Sub Shop on Summer, known by another name. You know what it is. Most of you know what it is. Great place. Cash only. Number 3, Bogies. Number 2, Fino's. And number 1, Canales Grocery. Now, where is Canales Grocery? Is that the one way out there in the suburbs?
Yeah.
Out there near like Pisgah Road?
It's near Briarcrest.
Near Briarcrest. Okay, I've never had a sandwich from there. I'm told that Louis is in Arlington. So that's a long trip for me, but if it's that good, I'm going to have to check out Louis. I'm going to have to check out Canales. All right. What other list you have?
Yeah, so we have a list from Razorback 1.
Okay.
Number 5, Young Avenue Deli.
Okay.
Number
Says
4,
it in the name, right?
Valley Italian Rebel. Valleys.
Okay. Never heard of it.
Number 3, Louis Deli and Meat Market. That's the one out in Arlington.
Okay.
Like you said. Number 2, Pop's Deli. And then number 1, Canales.
Canales,
excuse me.
Pop's Deli. Have you been to Pop's Deli?
I've never been to Pop's Deli.
Again, that's another one that is on a few of these lists that I have not been to. Lee Aldwin, who I follow on Twitter, is a nice guy. He has, I'm not sure it's 5-1, 1 through 5, Jersey Mike's, Lenny's, Jason's Deli, McAllister's Deli, and Firehouse Subs. So going mostly chains, right? They're all chain. Lenny's, is Lenny's a chain? Or is it just all in Memphis?
Lenny's is a chain.
Yeah, I thought it was a chain too.
Yeah, it's a chain.
Another person said, again, this is kind of funny, but I wish they'd have a 5 spot on their list since it is 5 favorite things. But this person says, Jimmy John's. That's it. That's the list.
Hey.
Wow. Only going with JJ's. Who else you got?
Tennessee Tom, he put down 2 honorable mentions on his list.
We'll give it to him, but I like only one here. Come on.
So his honorable mentions are Canales and I guess the ham sandwich from Canales, I guess.
Okay.
So matter of fact, that's just one together. I thought there were 2.
Okay, so all right. So he only had the one. He followed the rules.
Yeah, he followed the rules. I'm sorry, Tennessee Tom. Number 5, Yum's Deli.
Okay.
Number 4, Pop's Deli, the one on Shelby Drive specifically. Number 3, Louis Deli and Meat Market out in Arlington. Number 2, Elwood's Shack. And then number 1, Fino's.
Yeah, I didn't even think of Elwood Shack, but I'll give them Elwood Shack. I mean, there's a lot of sandwiches there. It's not a deli per se, but yeah, I'll give them that one. Elwood Shack is delicious. I have to get out to Arlington now. I mean, everybody has Louis on their list. By the way, and we'll get to a few more of these lists here. You still have time, 360-8255, if you want to get in your 5 favorite places in Memphis to get a sub or deli sandwich. Have you ever had a sandwich? Dave Woloshin, who may be listening right now, loves this place. I believe I got the right place. Miss B's Sub Shop on Getwell. Have you been to Miss B's?
I don't think so.
I still haven't been. He's invited me a couple of times. I've had other things I had to do. I'm looking at the pictures of the sandwiches. They look delicious. So I wonder if Miss B's makes anybody's list. Who else do you have?
John from Covington. Number 5, Highland Super Sub Shop.
There you go.
Number 4, Miss B's Sub Shop.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
There you go. Right on cue.
Number 3, Firehouse Subs.
Okay.
Number 2, Sam's Deli. And number 1, Renee's Sandwich Shop.
Sam's Deli, Renee's Sandwich Shop. I'm not sure if that's up there in his neck of the woods up in Covington. I've never heard of those two.
Mark, number 5, Jason's Deli.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, Subway. Number 3, Lenny's. Number 2, Jersey Mike's. And number 1, Jimmy John's.
So all chains there, but still good.
Someone says that Lenny's started in Bartlett.
Lenny's is a local establishment? Wow.
I
Started
thought it was
in
a
Bartlett?
national brand.
I'm going to have to look that up.
I might be wrong. I will admit
you're just
that I'm wrong.
you're just reading a text. Mike.
Say it again?
Put your mic up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, someone texted in and said Valley's Italian Rebel is in Whitehaven. So
okay.
So just check that out.
I am willing to try. I love delis. I love sandwiches. And I love when they are mom and pop places, that they're just local. There's one of them. I will travel to those that are good. And again, I'm heading to Arlington. I got to figure out when I'm going to get up there, but I want to do that.
Bobby sent his list in. Number 5, Store Cold Box. Number 4, Firehouse.
Store Cold Box?
Yeah, that's what Store Cold Box.
Is that the name? Is that the name of a restaurant, or is that like he just buys it in the store? Like goes over to the Kroger in the little sandwich area and buys a Kroger sandwich?
That I don't know.
I'm going to look that one up too.
That's interesting.
Here you go. Lenny's is based in Memphis, has about 100 locations, mainly throughout the southeastern United States. Len and Sheila Moore opened the first Lenny's shop September 16th, 1998 in Bartlett. How about that? The texter was right. That is unbelievable. Over 100 of them now. Good for the Moores. Maybe they want to advertise with us.
So the rest of his list, we'll look up number 5. Number 4, Firehouse Subs. Number 3, Subway. Number 2, Jimmy John's. And number 1, Jason's Deli.
Give me the first one again that he said.
Number 5, he said Store Cold Box.
Store Cold Box.
Yeah,
Something's
I've never
up with
heard
that.
of it.
Okay. What else you got?
While you looking that one up, another texter sent their list in.
I think he means from a store. I think he means just to buy a sandwich out of the refrigerator of a store. Because that's what Store Cold Box is when I look it up. I can't imagine a restaurant's called Store Cold Box. That's just
very
first of all,
generic.
it's a dumb name, but I think that's what it is. Okay.
Number 5, Canales. Number 4, Yum's Deli. Number 3, Lenny's.
Okay.
Number 2, Kelly's Deli.
Ooh.
And then number 1, Highland Super Submarine Sandwich Shop.
Bring your cash.
That is a tongue twister.
I know, and they know it for another way, but there's another name for it. But again, I guess it's not. I don't know. I don't want to say something that's politically incorrect, but it's not like it's a cuss word or anything like that. But bring your cash only. Good place. You need to go. It's good. It's not great. It's good. What else you got?
That's it. Someone mentioned the Kiwi Check sandwich shop on Madison.
The Quick Check,
The
not
Quick
the
Check.
Kiwi Check.
Terrible with this. Terrible.
You can't read, can you?
Kiwi
Kiwi Check.
it's how it's spelled. It's KWIK.
Oh, they spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
The Kiwi Check is down in New Zealand. They have one. Stephen Adams likes to enjoy a Vegemite sandwich every once in a while when he goes over to Australia. I would assume they have Vegemite sandwiches maybe in New Zealand too. But what was the other one? Kelly's Deli?
Yeah, Kelly's Deli.
I wonder where that is. Again, local delis, man, send in that information to me. I certainly want to check it out. All right, is that it?
That's all.
All right, that is 5 favorite things. We'll do it again next week. We'll give you the topic on Tuesday. We'll read your lists on Wednesday. All right, we're coming back to wrap up this busy Wednesday edition of Sports 56 Mornings right after this quick timeout on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Simple, smooth, and every sip is easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Want to play a private country club but only pay daily greens fees? Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis is your place. You can now play a beautiful, challenging course for only $59 plus tax, including cards. Meadowbrook Country Club features champion Bermuda greens and now is available to everyone. A membership is only $350 per month and includes tennis, pickleball, and swimming, plus a great restaurant and bar. Golf Pro Mark can even fix you up with custom-made tricks on clubs. Call 870-394-4186 today for your Tuesday through Sunday tee time at Meadowbrook Country Club in West Memphis.
Hey fellas, Bill Russell at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, and this year it happened on October 17th. I had my first gentleman ask me what he should get his special lady for Christmas, and my answer was this: get her something she will enjoy and get her something she will absolutely love. Think about her likes and her dislikes. You might even ask her what she wants. Then, come let us show you the finest, most beautiful jewelry in Memphis. This will be our 38th Christmas, and for many of our customers, they've been with us for every one of those 38 years. They come looking for beautiful gifts, fine jewelry that makes a lady's eyes sparkle, but they also know that they will receive quality and service that is unsurpassed in Memphis. And at Russell Brothers, you can play St. Nick knowing that if you don't make the right choice, our money-back guarantee will allow her the ability to exchange her gift for one that she really does love, or she gets your money back. For 5 decades, we've helped thousands of Santas. We'd love to help you. Russell Brothers Jewelers, 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
Start your day the right way at La Palapa with the biggest, baddest breakfast burrito around. Chorizo, cheese, rice, beans, and eggs served with fresh salsa, and it's served all day. La Palapa has daily lunch specials, all served with rice and beans, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Try a torta, breaded chicken, steak, chorizo, or ham served with mayo, avocado, lettuce, tomato, and jalapenos, all in a hoagie. Plus amazing soups and dinner entrees, all at La Palapa, 5255 Summer Avenue. La Palapa, the little hut with big taste.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis.
Okay, this car looked great wrapped around you,
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everybody. Final segment. Dave Woloshin is next with Weldo and Friends on Sports 56. He came in during the break, gave me a tutorial on subs in the area, caught me up to date with a lot of stuff. So here we go. Number one, Dave Woloshin says it's okay to call it by the name it's known. I'm talking about the super sub shop on Summer that used to be on Highland. It's known as the Chinese sub shop because they served Chinese food. They don't do, well, they may do so right now still, but they have subs. And it's cash only, and it's on Highland. No, it was on Highland. It's now on Summer. Miss B's on Get Well, Dave tells me, is the former sandwich maker from the Chinese sub shop and started her own deli sub shop on Get Well. That's Miss B's. Talked to me about some of the people who were the backers for Lenny's, including big supporters of the University of Memphis. Some of you may know the name Al LaRocca. I know Al very well. I did not know that. I did not know he was involved in Lenny's. So you learn something every single day as far as that is concerned. I'm trying to think if Dave hit me with anything else as far as the sandwiches are concerned. No, but he did hit me with this. Richard Smith. Yes, Richard Smith of the FedEx Smith family. Richard Smith will be joining Dave Woloshin at 10:10 to talk about yesterday's huge news, the Smith family donation of $50 million to the University of Memphis to use as part of the renovations of Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. It's the largest donation in the University of Memphis history. Once again, Richard Smith will be joining Dave Woloshin at 10:10. Some odds for this week's college football games. It's rivalry week in college football. The Egg Bowl tomorrow. And again, we'll have it for you right here on Sports 56, 98.5 FM, starting with the pregame at 4:30. Rhett Stats Norsworthy, a part of that broadcast team. I know he's going to have a lot of fun. It's in Starkville. And Ole Miss is a 10-point favorite on the road. The Tigers in Temple. I'll be at that game Friday. Our broadcast begins at 11 o'clock Central Time, 12 o'clock in Philadelphia, Eastern Standard Time. The Memphis Tigers are an 11-point favorite to knock off Temple. Other games of note. Tulane and UTSA basically playing for a spot in the conference championship. That's the American Conference Championship. Tulane at home is a 3.5-point favorite over UTSA. The Roadrunners have been on a nice run. Missouri visits Arkansas on Friday. Missouri is a 7.5-point favorite. Texas and Texas Tech. Texas trying to keep their playoff hopes alive, trying to keep their SEC, Big 12 championship. Freudian slip. They'll be in the SEC next year. Trying to keep their Big 12 championship hopes alive. They will play Texas Tech. They are a 12.5-point favorite. Oregon State, the Civil War on Friday. Oregon, a 14-point favorite over Oregon State. On Saturday, the big one in the big house, Michigan, a 3-point favorite over Ohio State. Battle of the Commonwealth State, Louisville, a 7-point favorite over Kentucky. LSU on Saturday, an 11.5-point favorite over Texas A&M. Navy and SMU an 18-point favorite. If SMU wins, they're in the American Conference Championship game. A couple of other games of note, the Iron Bowl, Auburn and Alabama on the Plains. Alabama, a 14.5-point favorite in that one. Tennessee is a 27-point favorite over Vanderbilt. The Vols have got beaten bad the last 2 weeks. That won't happen this time around. Unbeaten Liberty tries to stay unbeaten, try to move to 12-0. They play in El Paso against the 3-8 UTEP Miners. Liberty, a 16.5-point favorite. Arkansas State, which suddenly got real hot, they're playing Marshall in Huntington, West Virginia. Marshall is a 2.5-point favorite. The Apple Cup, Washington, a 16.5-point favorite over Washington State. Florida is a 6.5-point underdog at home to unbeaten Florida State. Georgia and Georgia Tech. Georgia, 24-point favorite at Georgia Tech. Clemson and South Carolina. South Carolina, if they can get a win, become bowl eligible, but they are a 7-point dog at home to Clemson. That's pretty much it. It's going to be a busy college football week. It already began. There were a couple of games last night. Tonight, again, the Memphis Tigers, this afternoon, I should say, the Memphis Tigers in action against Michigan. Game 1 of the Battle for Atlantis, and Memphis is a 1.5-point favorite. Then tonight in the NBA, the Grizzlies will visit the Houston Rockets. That means rekindling an old relationship with the one and only Dylan Brooks. What will that turn out to be? It'll be very interesting, to say the least. So a busy Wednesday. Want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Again, today, Ole Miss at Temple at 2 o'clock. Tomorrow, there are no local shows, but we got sports coverage all day long, including the Egg Bowl. Friday, we're back. Now, it won't be me or Eli, but Zach will be here, and Bryant Dacus will be hosting on Friday. I will join the guys, Bryant and Zach, from Philadelphia at 9:30 for a preview of the Tigers and the Temple Owls. Want to thank Andy Borman, Lawrence Dockery, Ryan Silverfield, Jerry Palm, and DeMichael Cole for joining us on the program today. Well Done, friends, on Sports 56 is coming up next, so stay tuned for that. For Eli, who's with the Rebels in Philadelphia, for Zach Boyd, I'm Greg Gaston. Happy Thanksgiving, and I will talk to you personally on Monday.